Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the 2017 Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge. On the mic, it's Moz and Woz, Warren Sear, Adrian, Moz and Morrisby, the Mayor of Tasmania. Moz, welcome back to tonight's action.
Hey, Woz, it's party time! Ladies and gentlemen, get ready! Can I hear you out there in the crowd? Are you there? Can you hear us? Can we get a hands up? Can we get a cheer?
Give us a wave if you can hear us up there on the bank. If you're near the Red Bull tent, give us a wave. Can you hear us up there on the hill? Are we loud enough? Somebody wave their hands. Anyone? No, we got nothing. We got nothing. We got one guy. One guy's awake up there. Mozzie, last night qualifying, it lived up to expectations. We saw a 90, low 90 score. Only just good enough to sneak you into the top 10.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Luke Fink came out with that 87 on the first run. That was a standard. That had to go up from there. Then Mad Mike at the 99, he dropped one for being just a fraction off the apex coming out of turn 3 or clipping point 3 if you like. And of course holding to that number one spot with, he's admitted himself, the highest score he's ever had in drifting, which is pretty cool.
If you're in a GTR hat wearing a red t-shirt and you're smiling at the camera, why don't you give us a little wave? Can you hear us? We are standing there? No? Not you? No. Put your camera up. Yeah. Just hide from us.
Okay.
So Michael Prosnick, Victoria's favourite son, also looking real strong last night, Moz. Bangs in a 97. Not a bad way for the Pros to get on the board.
Yeah, that's right. With that new Duo Motorsport engine under the bonnet, it is really honking, making some big horsepower, plenty of revs, and as he said, reliable. He used to have the supercharger on his V8. That kept blowing belts. It was inconsistent with the torque curve. Now he's got this massive V8, beautiful big torque curve, and he can use all the revs, and Pros is really on fire at the moment. And, you know, he looks so cool. We spoke to him today. He's just a little bit quietly confident, I'd say.
Yeah, Pros quieter than he normally is. He's usually a bit of a jokester, a bit of a prankster. He's got a little bit to say, but Pros, I thought today was holding things back. I think he might feel like he's on the cusp of a big performance here tonight. And Moz, it's good to see people rugged up there on the banks there. Plenty of food up there for sale. I wouldn't mind getting up there, getting a bit of Brazilian barbecue going on for a bit of dinner, but thank you.
It just worries me a bit, the Brazilian barbecue, but won't go there. Hey, speaking of Pros, what he said, he's usually effervescent. He's like someone who shook up a bottle of lemonade and just cracked the lid, you know. He's usually waiting to explode and it's all out there, but it's not. He's at the moment, he's super cool. And another guy that's super cool I noticed too, in amongst the mix there, was Mad Mike, you know. Yep. Usually by now they've changed it to for, you know, something. And right now everything's pretty Mickey Mouse in the house of Mike Woodad at the moment.
Consummate professional is Mad Mike Whittett. He is definitely feeling like he is on the cusp of something. Yeah,
indeed, yeah. So we're not far away from getting the top 32 underway, and of course the first battle we're looking at, well, Mad Mike, he's got the bye, he's got a leave pass, he can take time off. But Darren Kelly and Matt Hill will be coming at us. Matty Hill qualifying in the number 17 position, and Darren Kelly out of New Zealand, that wild R35 RB powered Skyline or Nissan. He'll come out of, he qualified 16th. In the number 4 car. So that's our first battle, 16 versus 17. That's coming up very shortly. And we look forward to bringing you right up to 9:30. We'll lose the live feed. We're hoping to have the show done by 9:30. Have you guys heading home to your families and, of course, getting into a couple of quiet beverages ourselves after a big weekend.
Yeah, the team working pretty hard to try and bang this one out in 2.5 hours, Moz. Let's have a quick look through the tree there. So Kelly and Hill, as you talked about, and the winner of that battle will go head-to-head with Mike Whittett, who gets a bye into the top 16. Robbie White back out of retirement. He goes up against Mitch Jeffrey, the local boy, head-to-head in the 32. Then we get Camo Moat up against Carl Thompson. For the Kiwi fans, we are hearing some rumours potentially of Carl Thompson advising out in the 32, so we await to see if he will come out for his bottle. All right, if you're up on the bank, give us a wave if you can hear us. There we go. You're awake up there. Who's having a good time here at World Time Attack? No, there we go. You're on TV, sir.
Where's
there you go. Give us a wave. You're on TV.
Where's the Kiwi fans?
There's always one guy. There's always one guy that has to give the finger. Who was that? Hang your head in shame, sir. Hang your head in shame. He's probably from Tasmania, Moz.
Hey, nothing wrong with being from Tasmania. They've got to bring the experts from New Zealand and Tasmania. Now, the New Zealand contingent usually are fairly loud up there on the hill in the Honeywell Garrett corner. Is there any New Zealanders in the crowd?
Where are the Kiwis at? Where are the Kiwi fans at up on the hill?
We've got a couple there. Now, I want you guys to get really, really vocal because that fires up Cole Armstrong.
It does fire up Cole Armstrong. Cole Armstrong is here with the car that he does not care about, Moz. He has already talked about the fact he wants to tattoo a couple of doors. Doesn't matter who's in his way. And he is looking forward to to fighting his way through to the final. And do you know why Cole Armstrong was talking that out?
Go on.
Because standing in his way to winning this event is one Daigo Saito in the Monster Energy Lexus. They are in the same bracket at the bottom of the tree. So Cole Armstrong will have to go through Daigo Saito if he wants to get his hands on the trophy tonight. Likewise, as we talked about earlier, Mike Whittett, Darren Kelly. There we go. There's our judging panel up there. Toshi Hayama, have you got your ears on, Toshi? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey.
We can hear you, Toshi. You're doing very well to still be awake.
Right.
It's been a long day for you, my friend. Toshi, you say everything twice because you have to translate for us. You are there with the DK and Denzo. You have to speak slowly, obviously, for Denzo to make sure he understands you. How is the DK feeling heading into tonight's competition?
Yeah, so right now we're up in the drift booth up here. Look, container. It's actually, we got upgraded from a truck to a container this year. Maybe next year they'll give us some windows and some heat. But for now, I've got Drift King next to me to the right, and we've got Denzo, respected drifter, and our judge to the left. For those of you guys who were here yesterday for qualifying, it was a packed field of 32 cars. Today, I believe we're down to 30 cars, right?
Maybe 31 now, because he's fixed his engine.
Right. So let's see what DK has to say about the event so far. 一応昨日の予選を見て今日はどういう予想ですか？
いやもう昨日走ってるから2コーナーを制するものがこの追走を制すると思う。
So unlike yesterday, these cars will be running in battle format. So the car that controls the second corner, where those cones are, they will always get the advantage in DK's mind. So that's we're talking about. We moved the cones this year so that we have a much higher entry speed. And hopefully they'll be able to carry that entry speed all around this long bank and make for a great battle as they go through.
All right, thank you, Toshi Hayama, up there in the judges' container, ably assisted by Brett and Yoshi and the team up there, Moz, who've been working hard all weekend. So we're awaiting the cars really to grid up and get out on the track there. Toshi, does the Drift King have anything he would like to say to the Australian fans who are up there on the bank?
オーストラリアのファンとかどう思いますか？
オーストラリアのファンは本当去年から見てるけど熱いね。
He likes the intensity of the Australian fans as he came out here. This is the second time out here, but he's enjoying it a lot.
Hey, Toshi Moza here. Just wondering, is that a struggle rug he's got over his knees there? A bit cold. Do we need to get a heater up there for the Drift King?
Wait, Mozzie, you got to repeat that one more time because we're running on some primitive equipment, and I'm actually listening to you guys from the PA speaker. So one more time.
I was wondering, the Drift King beside you there, he's got a green struggle rug over his knees. Do we need to get a heater up there for him?
Yeah.
That's a struggle rug.
How do you know he has this thing over his knees? You have a camera under here?
Yeah, well, I might have. You know, I have access all areas passes.
All right. We're looking ready to go, boys. We have cars on the start-finish line. Darren Kelly, Maddie Hill, first to go. Two of the ladies' favourites, Moz. Maddie, the ladies' man, Hill, the Performance, 2JZ S15 out of Sydney. Darren Kelly, 2015 D1NZ National Drifting Champion for Nissan Nismo Motorsport. Here we go. We are underway. Our first battle at the Honeywell Garrett 2017 International Drift Challenger. Darren Kelly, as the higher qualifier, will lead them into turn one. Moz, away we go.
Yeah, DK number 2, Maddie Hill on the chase. It's all about the chase. That's the way the Drift King set it up. He's got to get up on the door. And at the moment, it's too far back for Matty Hill of the four-man performance machine. All right, the outside, Clifford Point. Winding on the long hard there. He's Kelly out in front of this at R35. In the final turn, right up against the cones goes Darren Kelly. But as we saw in driver's briefing, the Drift King wanted to see proximity. Matty Hill just couldn't get up on the door.
Yeah, for those of you who are just joining us, the Drift King is our head judge for the weekend, and he was incredibly prescriptive, Moz. He said he wanted the chase car within 1 metre in order to be able to gain points as a chase. So he was very, very particular about what he wanted from the drivers. In terms of a lead run, the driver on the lead position has to run as close to the qualifying line as possible. That is their job, and it is the job of the chase car to emulate what the car in front is doing. So we're looking forward to some close battles last night based on what we saw from last night, Moz. And look, Darren Kelly looks like he might have sorted out some of those speed issues. He was flying there and he just left Matty Hill on the trail.
Yeah, we did see him use a lot of lock last night, which was washing off speed. He's picked that up, he's listened, you know, and he's got it operating super hard there. I love that car. As I do Ricky Bobby here in the Monster Energy KD H brake pads motor back 370 said up against the local hero Mitch Jeffrey.
That's Jeffrey, the local lad. What can he do here in the chase position? Trying to get up there on the back of the Ricky Bobby machine, but Rob White smashing the gas out front in the Monster Energy 370Z. There is no better sound on Australian drift soil than the Rob White car in full flight. Look at those Achilles radial tyres being absolutely torched. Rob White maybe a little bit offline there, Moz, but Mitch Jeffrey unable to make much of an inroad there as far as the chase position. So Rob White, I think, might have an advantage out of that one, Moz. And
yeah, Rob White skipping away with it there with the big horsepower Mopar NASCAR engine powered 370Z with the Monster backing. Monster have got him out of retirement. I've got to thank Monster for that. I almost started drinking Monster for that. But good to see him out there having a red-hot go. But look, it's only one half of the battle. There's another half to go yet. Speaking of the second half of the battle, here we go with Matty Hill, the four-man's performance, three fingers neat machine out of Sydney, up against New Zealand's own Darren Kelly in this wild R35 running the RB 3.4
Moz, roughly 800 odd horsepower at Darren Kelly's disposal. Great to see the Nissan team here this weekend selling apparel as well at Yokohama World Time Attack. Congratulations to Yokohama, by the way, on their 100-year anniversary. Moz, they gave away $1,000 to a lucky winner today as Matty Hill initiates into the section. Moz, pick up the chase position there for Darren Kelly.
That's right, okay. Darren Kelly's doing exactly what the Drift King wanted. Right up on the back bumper bar, drops off a little bit now. He's going to do enough to get back up on the next corner. Up on door we go! Darren Kelly! That is a cracking run. And I tell you what, he should probably get through on that because he was closer to Matty Hill than what Matty Hill was on his chase. And as the DK said, he wants to see proximity. Waiting for the judges to give us a decision on that. Hopefully coming up shortly we'll get a decision. But wow, there you go. Darren Kelly has listened to what happened there in briefing and basically he dialed in super big time.
Yeah, no, and for those of you who are just tuning in on the live stream too, we get a little bit of feedback in terms of when will the DK and the judges be joining us on commentary. For the top 32, they have asked that we just focus on getting through the tree. So Moz and I will be carrying you through. And then once we get to the 16, the 8, the 4, and the 2, the DK will be joining us and adding his unique style of commentary there. But I have a feeling he would have a smile on his face there. The first Swiss Salt battle for the evening, Darren Kelly right up on the rear wheel. And Moz, we've got a call there.
Darren Kelly, first one to book him, stop himself a spot in the Sweet 16, but here we go.
Rob White, the Monster Energy machine all over the back of Mitch Jeffrey. Rob White has to get on the brakes there to stop himself closing up too close on the Mitch Jeffrey machine there, but Rob White making it look pretty easy there, hanging with Mitch Jeffrey. Mitch Jeffrey gains a little bit of an advantage there, just pulling away a little bit, but then dropped the wheel off the outside of the track there. But Ricky Bobby, I think, doing enough there. And here he is, Moz.
Yes, right. Diego Sato all the way from Japan. This wild Sunico Monster Energy-backed Lexus. What? A Lexus GS?
I believe it's I think it's an LS 430 with 2JZ 3.4 underneath the bonnet, producing about 1,200 odd horsepower is the number that was thrown around. And here's up against Benny Meyer, one of the local boys with that beautifully presented machine, the green and the purple, creating a striking contest here in the Sydney conditions late. No, it's early evening at the moment, isn't it, Moss?
Early evening.
Early evening. It just feels late to us because we've been up since 6 this morning. But this will be our first look at Daigo Saito.
You were having sex this morning, did you say?
Six.
Oh,
six. I was up at 6 this morning.
Oh, right, sorry.
Right, so this is going to be our first look, Moz. We felt that Daigo Saito was holding back a little bit yesterday. He didn't really show his full hand. He didn't really just mash the pedal as hard as he needed to. So let's see whether he shows us his full hand or whether he's perhaps holding a little bit back, because he will know that his potential next opponent is going to be the winner of the El Sharka Anthony Billick battle will be who's up against Daigo Saito potentially.
Scott been a bit of a ninja this weekend. We haven't really seen much of him. The driver's briefing, sitting over the back corner, just taking it in. Oh, takes the cones the other way, hit that big white Lexus. Here we go to turn number 1. Saito leads out on Benny Meyer, Benny Meyer in second place. Into turn number 2. Meyer just can't keep up. Skipping away with it, Saito. A perfect line through here too. He's nailed it to the wall. Right up on the apex. Saito!
He just jumped on that gas and those Wanley tyres just hooked up. Moz, and he saw him disappearing into the setting sun here. The Wanley tyre, that's what the car runs.
It's a suburb or a town or something in New Zealand.
Does sound a little bit like that. That's Whakatane, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Whakatane is the town you're thinking of. Here we go with Al Sharker, the Link ECU sponsored machine. As you say, he's got the 2J underneath the bonnet. Anthony Billick staying loyal to the SR20 underneath the bonnet. Anthony Billick, the only driver in the field on 235 wide tyres. So it'll be interesting to see how Anthony Billick goes here in the chase position, but he is definitely going to have an uphill battle if he comes up against Daigo Saito next, because we just saw how rapid that machine was. It really disappeared. Good to see a lot of feedback coming in from those of you who have joined us on the live stream as well. We want to know who you think is going to be standing on the top step of the victory dais tonight. So let us know, Moz and Woz. We are tuned into our social media. We're happy to take your shout-outs, birthday requests, etc. as part of the entertainment here, within reason, of course. Let's see how Al Sharker goes with Anthony Billick in the chase position. Moz, two of the lower horsepower cars in the field. We won't see Sharker disappearing in that big cloud of smoke like we saw from Daigo.
Yeah, Billick has got plenty of pace out of an SR20. Surprised me yesterday. Now he's starting to get up on the door of Sharker. The two local boys go hammer to hammer.
Anthony Billick with the chase right on the inside. Put your hands together, local Sydney fans. Anthony Billick.
Mate, I'm surprised.
Throws it in. The Billick's got the hand out the window. He is pumped, Moz.
Get out and kiss that SR20. It's driving like it's a 2J or something. It's crazy. Good job in the AAA tyre factory machine. Anthony Ballistic Billick.
Look, I wonder if that was probably a great example of two really evenly matched cars there, Moz, as far as power and speed. That was definitely a great battle there, and I think it would have been quite good to see what DK thought of that, because he was talking earlier today about how he really admired the grassroots drifting style still versus perhaps the progression and the reliance on power that has emerged within the global drifting scene. Moz, I think this is going to give us a good example here of just what Daigo might have on tap. So let's have a look at it.
Pass two.
As he will accelerate up the hill here, and he will have to hold something back, otherwise he's simply going to pile into the rear of the Benny Meyer car. Not that Benny Meyer's car is slow by any means, but here is Daigo Saito showing why he is one of the best in the business. He is right on that rear bumper there. He pulls back, Moz, just to give himself enough room. He will accelerate again. He will come up onto the back of the Ben Meyer machine. Put your hands together, Sydney fans. The Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. Daigo Saito is in the house.
He did drop a wheel off coming into clipping point number 2 on the outside. I don't know if that'll cost him or not, because that's where he lost that couple of car lengths. So I don't know. Interesting to see. It's in the hands of the judges, whoever's going through there at the moment between the battle between. Excuse me.
There are the judges. Hello, boys. We're going to you. Any thoughts up there early on?
今どう思いました？
今64で斉藤
So he felt that Saito or Daigo on that one had the advantage.
入ってる時間が長い
He was his car was on the inside for a long amount of time coming around the last corner, so he was awarded points for that.
Great feedback there from the DK, telling us exactly what he thinks. And Toshi, thank you very much for your hard work up there translating. We'll get you to translate what Denzo says at some point too, so that the average Joe out there can understand what's going through the mind of Denzo, the grandfather of Australian drift. Al Sharker, Anthony Billick, here we go. Anthony Billick, strong performance, first time out there, Moz. Two very evenly matched cars.
Yeah, indeed. The SR20 versus the 2J. Sharker there in the RX8 with the brand new body kit aboard. Running the Link ECU backing and looking for a run of good luck. He did get a second, I think, at Winton recently. And Billick, well, he's been in a lot of local, smaller comps, but this is a different thing. This is big horsepower, big track, big corner. And the AAA Tyre Factory SR20 powered machine of Billick has been right on point the whole time.
A couple of quick shout-outs, Mozzie, coming in from our New Zealand fans who are tuned in. Hello to Nat Green, her 3 cats and dog who are watching the live stream. Hello to Team Jenkins Motorsport in full force at their headquarters. Hello to Dan Mackey, tuned in on the live stream as well. So good to hear you guys are tuned in, and good to have your feedback. Hello to Tony Cook and the team up there on the bank as well. Tony saying that the mic from the judges platform isn't quite loud enough up there for them to hear. So good to have that feedback on board. What can Sharker do, Moz? Big straight line. Billick, what's happened?
He went the handbrake and it just went straight ahead, understeer mega. Oh, it's going to cost him big time too, but he still skipped away slightly from Sharker. But did that hold up that he had there caused Sharker to back off? Then it'd be advantage Sharker.
Well, look, Al Sharker's got to be thinking back to last year, right? Remember that incident he had with Bo Yates, and I remember talking to Alex afterwards, and he was absolutely heartbroken. So he would have had that going through his mind at the time there, and he will be wanting wanting to get into the 16 here for the local fans. I know his family here, and so are some of his friends. Cole Armstrong, 2017 New Zealand drifting champion, the Evergreen Tyres machine. Hello to Nan Sue and the team from the Blink Company. Thank you very much for backing Cole Armstrong over here, and hello to Emily and the team. Good to see Emily working hard in the pits earlier today, scrubbing the tyres of the Cole Armstrong machine. As we all know, strong family teams are what keep these guys going most of the time.
We are family drifting. Andy Worth, L98 under the bonnet, 403 cubes, 500 horsepower, 4,500 throttle body, 98 fuel, and he's also running on a 225 tyre, on a 15 225, thanks to Tailbrace Steel Fixing, J&B Speed Shop, precise off-road performance. They're getting right behind as well. It runs a Hilux diff, and if you see that air cleaner there on the front of the bonnet there of Andy Worth's car, that has got all the 10mm sockets in the world hidden in there and a small family of badges.
Thank you, Moz, for your unique synthesis there of words that you just jammed together.
Look at it, it's got its own postcode. It's massive.
It's a unique tongue Tasmanian. I mean, everything I know about Tasmania, of course, I learned from the television series Bogans.
And Swift and Shift Couriers.
Bit of a hold up here.
Needs a scoop, like a hornet bonnet scoop over the top.
Look, just being told, apparently the team up on the hill, the fans up on the hill, they're having some issues hearing Toshi Hayama, so we do apologise for that. We are working on that, but you can hear Moz and Woz loud and clear, so let us know if things are going on like that. Cole Armstrong gets on the gas there. Andy Worth, is he going to be able to close up onto the Cole Armstrong machine there? I think there was a bit of a mistake there that Andy could have capitalised on.
Andy straightened up big time in the middle of the corner, so point 2 and 3 there as well.
Here comes Andy Worth, passes! Andy Worth with a pass to the inside. That is allowed.
As they said today, DK's words were, do you want me to judge Australian or do you want me to judge international?
Look, I know that we're not supposed to do that, but I'm really curious to see how the judges are going to view that one then, because there was a lot of talk and briefing about how judges were going to view passing if you went to the inside there. Cole went to the outside on the prescribed line. Whether Andy just got lost in the smoke and elected for safety reasons to keep accelerating and just try and clear the smoke screen there from the Cole Armstrong machine, or whether he felt he was in the right there on the right line, that will be very interesting to find out from the judges as we get our first look at the new line back to 10 Tyre Barbecue entry of Adam Monk. The turbo's visible from space on that one there, Moss.
They are, definitely indeed. They've got to call NASA before he comes in and he reaches to make sure he's got airspace clear. Oh, this is not a bad run. Oh, Bonnie washes off too much speed, too much angle. Oh, now Monkey throws it sideways, the new line back machine. Smoke on through the final turn.
Bonnie came back at him aggressively there after making the mistake there. Bonnie, he just had so much speed, Moz. He looked like he was overcommitted. He had to back out of it to try and make sure he wasn't going to make a mistake there. Moz, you got a couple of results there for us?
We've got booking a spot in the Sweet 16. In the Monster Energy 370Z, Robbie White. And, of course, Camo Moat goes through because Carl Thompson's quad rotor machine has unfortunately had a failure somewhere.
Look, heartbroken there for the Thompson team. The Thompson family been working so hard all weekend, but unfortunately, Carl Thompson, you heard it right, New Zealand fans. Hello, Melissa Grace. You've just stuck your head into a camera shot up there. Melissa, one of our hard-working team here of the World Time Attack staff. That was the purple hair ain't care. So Camo Moat gets the call through. And we have one more time call for Betty Meyer and Daigo Saito.
Actually, Betty Meyer would be stoked with that. He's taken Daigo Saito to a one more time. How cool is that? Crazy stuff already. We've got a one more time. Okay, so on the line, Andy Worth running through now for his second run at this one in that L98 powered AE86 rock and roller. And sweet little ride. They've been campaigning for quite a while, and super impressed having the chat with the lads today. They're having a good old laugh. They had a sticker on the air cleaner saying "wanted bigger air cleaner" as a bit of a joke for the fans. So that was pretty cool.
Mozzie, this is going to put a scare through people. We've got Andy Worth lined up there, but we don't have Cole Armstrong, and some feedback coming through there on the live stream that maybe Cole Armstrong looked like he had a wheel wobble in the rear there, so maybe a buckled wheel or something loose. So we'll wait to see if we get a call there in terms of whether Cole Armstrong is maybe having to take 5 minutes. But Andy Worth has definitely gridded up, which means that I would think the clock is running there, Moz, in terms of somebody needing to be into that start box. So potential dramas here for the New Zealand champion.
One New Zealander out already with, of course, the Thompson machine.
Yeah, a couple more shout-outs coming through too. Don't forget, you can send them through to
Cole Armstrong. Sorry, Cole Armstrong has called 5 minutes.
Cole Armstrong has called his 5 minutes.
Counting.
So
Here he is.
There he is.
In the house. Hello, Cole.
Okay, so Coles is going to drive through, so we will come back and we will have the second run with Andy Worth to have the lead. Cole Armstrong has taken his 5 minutes, so I think Cole must have gone through the pits and then decided that the car was unsafe to proceed and battle with. Oh, there you go. Look at that. No, look at that wheel wobble in the rear there, Moz. You can see that wheel movement there. Great spotting by Dan Mackey, who's tuned in on the live stream. You can see that movement in the rear, the rear wheel there. So hello to Dan, who is tuned in. Great work by Dan.
C&D Motorworks, Bonnie machine on the line now. Trackart backing aboard that machine as well.
Clarification coming through to it is Benny Meir, apparently.
Meir, thank you for that. Meerkat.
That's how we'll remember it. Shout out to the Hard and Fast family as well, tuned in. Hard and Fast watching on the live stream. Burgeoning female drifter here in Ash, tuned in. Wanting to send a shout out to her man Dion. Michael Bonnslide has the lead with the Monk. Oh, putting the pressure on here. He's got plenty of power. That is a carbon copy repeat of what we saw from him last year, Moz. He did the same thing and he chucked it off the track and he's gone for a big straighten up there. Bonnie's going to have the advantage there, you would think, unless the judges deem that Bonnie caused that potentially. So
that's right. Yeah, if the lead car does hold up all of a sudden, they can be held responsible for that one. But Bonnie that time was bumper deep up to the clipping point and had it on song. So it was up to Monkey to try and emulate and stick with him. But Newline Tyres back Team Tyre Barbecue out of WA. It's on the line at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. And of course, it's all about trying to get through to the Sweet 16 at the moment. Already in the Sweet 16, we have Mad Mike Widdett, Darren Kelly, Rob White, Camo Moat, Sato and Meerkat are going through for one more time. The Sharker and Billick, have we got a result through for Sharker and Billick?
Still waiting for that clarification from Brett and the team up on the hills. So the OMT called, and that definitely wasn't a result we were expecting there for Saito and Benny Meir. Apparently too many Kiwi shout-outs. Well, hello, boys. You having a good time up there on the hill? Yeah, the boys are having some fun there. Let's see who's up in the crowd there. You're a very excited young man. Are you looking for young ladies, sir? Looking for young ladies? He is. He's keen. Throw your hands in the air, sir. Throw your hands in the air. Let the ladies know where you are.
Okay.
No, see, now he's hiding.
Unfortunately for the Adam Monk and the Team Tyre Barbecue, they are out, making it through and booking himself a spot in the Sweet 16. Michael Bonney.
Nice work there, Bonnslide. He would have been feeling the pressure after making that first mistake, Moz.
He didn't so much win it as Adam lost here, unfortunately. Okay, this is a one more time between Benny Meir and Dago Sato. Sato will lead out in that Lexus.
Just another look at this blistering speed of the machine, Moz. 1,200 horse, torching the tyres, putting on a display as he always does. Dago Sato is something of a regular here at the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge 2017. I believe about the 5th year in a row that he has been back, and he seems to love performing on Australian soil, and he has, of course, won before. Here he is, the man himself, Shane Van Gisbergen, the MCA machine. Moz, you and I have him pegged maybe as the man to watch for tonight, remembering that he is only on lap, this will be lap number 8 for him.
I did say to him this afternoon during interviews, I said, those first couple of runs you had were a bit messy out there, but you really clicked when it came to qualifying. He said, oh, really? I didn't think so. Oopsie. Professional drivers holding themselves to the absolute highest standards. Blake Patterson going to have some work cut out for him here. Let's see what Van Gisbergen does, because he was so quick last night, Moz. You see that the drivers have to jump on the brakes there. Okay, into turn number 1 we go. Up the inside with a nice run. Blake Patterson's taking it right up to the door. Into turn 2 we go. Here comes Blake Patterson. Laying it down big time as they come to clipping point number 3. This is a good run from both cars. We're skipping away at the end there. Shane Van Gisbergen in the MCA suspension. Achilles tyres back. 370Z. But man, how much attack was on there from Blake Patterson? So this is a good point, Moss. So the judges talked about this earlier, and DK's got a big smile on his face here because he talked about power differentials and he talked about driving as a 400 horsepower car or driving as a 600 horsepower car. So the judges are taking that into account. And Blake Patterson, I'd actually almost call that he had the advantage there, Moz, for the first section of the track. The Denzo's got something to say. Denzo, what do you got up there for us? No, Denzo's gone. Denzo was going to add his 2 cents worth of wisdom.
Daigo Saito coming straight back to the line, Moz. I think he might be frustrated with himself for letting this one go to a one more time. He will feel like he should probably have already made his way through, but see what he does this time on the chase. But Benny Mayer can hold his head high.
Yeah, definitely. Taking Daigo to one more time in the 311 Motorsport machine. Ben Mayer, that's a champion effort. Tyre Solutions back in that one as well. And you see the donk hanging at the bottom. It's one of those big Holly inlet manifolds on top of the LS series motors. And we're about to go green here. It's going to be a good run. Ben Mayer has done a fantastic job so far this weekend. Super impressed. That's 14 Sylvia with the L Series V8 under the bonnet. Not L Series Datsun motor, of course. Up against Saito in this 1200 horsepower Lexus.
Yeah, so we're on the first side of the tree, Moz, and we're looking to go from 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and an eventual winner here running to a time critical 9:30 cutoff. So let's see what happens here as Benny Mayer and Daigo Saito go one more time. Benny Mayer taking the man that was basically regarded as the best drifter on the planet in 2016. Do it one more time. Benny Mayer goes well out wide there, Moz. Daigo Saito coming back at him now with the attack here. Daigo Saito closes up onto the rear of the Benny Mayer car. Daigo Saito showing his chase skills.
I reckon he's probably done enough there, and local hero there, young Benny Mayer. Oh, now look at, speaking of local heroes.
Yeah, it's Andy Worth and Cole Armstrong coming back. So Cole Armstrong, I think, will probably do a bit of a burnout there just to make sure everything's okay there. He did call his 5 minutes, so that means, Moz, that means Cole Armstrong has used his 5 minutes. He does not have another one in the bank, so if he goes through, he's going to have to make his way all the way through without any further stoppages.
Okay, so you only get one go at the title, righto. So Andy Worth with a small advantage, you might say, here going into the second part of this battle.
Whilst the official call comes through, Daigo Saito into the top 16. Daigo Saito to the 16, but well done to Benny Mayer. Great fight from him there, Moz.
Yeah, look, he'd be, knowing he's going up against the champion as he is, Saito, then he'd be super stoked to get through at least for one more time.
Cole Armstrong can't see a thing, Moz. He has completely smoked out the inside of his car. There's more smoke than the Bob Marley Festival at Western Springs going on there, mate.
Get a bubbler in there or something. But
now we've got officials getting the smoke out of the Cole Armstrong car.
Right, full of cotton balls inside the car.
It's like one of those cartoons of Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine, really, isn't it? Cole Armstrong, always entertainment value for the crowd, and he's a crowd favourite, and he is hands down my son Jordan's favourite drifter on the face of the planet. He's just a big kid himself. Cole Armstrong. Let's see what the 2017 New Zealand champion has on offer this time for Andy Worth.
Okay, to turn one we go. Look at that initiation point right there at the cones. They go, oh, Andy Worth on a perfect line. Cole's trying to get on the back of him now, but Worth's just skipping away with the tail drag into clipping point number 2, washing right out to the outside cones. Oh, great run from Andy Worth. Is it going to be good enough to get him through though? Because here comes Cole Armstrong in the Evergreen machine.
Yeah, what I'm looking at there, Moz, is how much brake Cole Armstrong was using there. Just left foot braking just to stay with him the whole way through. You just watched him in that cloud of tyre smoke. Cole Armstrong looking so smooth, and his chase form has been absolutely phenomenal for 2017, Moz. You can see why he is the reigning New Zealand drift champion. Cole Armstrong for Evergreen tyres and the Old Faithful girl. Wow, the call there one more time. The call is a one more time for Andy Worth and Cole Armstrong. So I thought Cole did a pretty good job there, but maybe Andy doing just enough on that first run to see himself through. So
now we did get word that Sharker had made it through between the Billick and Sharker battle. We haven't got it confirmed yet, but waiting on that. But I think Alex Sharker might have booked himself a spot in the Sweet 16.
We'll get that one confirmed by the team up on the hill there. Brett and the team working hard up there with our judges in the box. Toshi Hayama, the DK himself, Kichi Tsuchiya, and Denzo, the grandfather of Australian drift. As we see,
hot dog smuggler Denzo.
Blake Patterson was strong on the early part of the chase here. Shane Van Gisbergen goes with him though. Here is where we will see that V8 supercar precision from Shane Van Gisbergen. He thinks nothing of driving Shane Van Gisbergen. Was he put off there by the movement in the Blake Patterson car there?
Straightened up. He had to get out of the layout pedal.
Patterson drops a wheel off there. But Moz, what do we call that one? It's the
dirt turbo. That's where you get a little bit extra boost by dropping one on the dirt. Getting a bit of mud on you if you like. No one likes any mud on them. And of course that's the way you're trying to keep it on the island, but sometimes it slips off slightly, you know. And that can happen. Now, Matty Russell, the Pete Balls champion in the Shockworks back 86 on the inside, on the outside Brad 2 in the later model 86, running the twin supercharged LS bonnet under the bonnet. heaps of horsepower, and Brad Tui's right on top of this car now too. He's really good lines, plenty of consistency, and the Achilles tyres working well underneath him as well.
Kiwi fans, the call comes in. Shane van Gisbergen through to the top 16. Shane van Gisbergen to the top 16.
Not far to go before we fill this top 16. We're getting through them nicely. Brad Tui, though, he's keen. He's super keen to get up there on top of that podium here. Been putting his heart and soul into this car now for a couple of years. Matty Russell, the little people's champion out of Victoria, and in that little low horsepower SR20 power machine.
The 86 that could, was the little AE86 that could.
He's going in hard. This is good for him at the moment. Lost a little bit there to the high horsepower, but he's coming back nicely, but a little bit too straight as Matty Russell tries to make up that gap.
Oh, Brad Tui to the inside.
Big mistake, and I think Matty might get the advantage. Matty Russell, the little champion, the mattress muncher, he's loving it.
Yeah,
wow.
Matty Russell just stayed with it there, Moz, did exactly the right thing, and there's some smiles on the face there in the judging container.
Denzo's not happy, he wants a Dagwood.
What are we doing here? Toshi's trying to round up the troops up there, trying to get some sense out of the judging panel there. Kichi, of course, is known for his love of the 86, and he's probably trying to give it to him 10-0 or something like that. It's a bit like when you go to the Mad Mike Summer Bash, and Mad Mike gives bonus points if you've got a rotary, right? So
is that right?
Yeah, a score of 100 goes to 110 if you've got a rotary in qualifying.
I like it.
Hello, Toshi.
Yes. So maybe we can have give us a. Oh, you can hear me now. Really nice.
Yeah, the crowd are happy to be able to hear.
今のはどうでしたか？やっと聞こえるみたいなんですけど。
先行車両が2コーナーのアウトクリップのコーンを飛ばしたコースアウト。
So obviously the lead car right now knocked the cone off on corner number 2, easy to understand, and they went off course, so that's why the advantage went to the 86.
Matty Russell got the advantage, you little ripper.
Well, Brad Tui will be kicking himself for that one there, Moz.
They keep getting angry at us because we need to keep the show going because we have so many cars, but so sorry. Finally, we got this running.
That's okay. I'm sure the people want to hear more from the DK.
Denzo's got something to say, but looks, what do you got there, Denzo?
Are you going to let Denzo talk? Are we letting Denzo
Hey,
speak?
Moz, are you there?
Yeah, bud.
Mate, where's that pizza I ordered 2 hours ago?
I ate it. It's 6-1.
Hey?
I ate it. Sorry, champ. Come and smell my breath.
Mate, you're a hopeless pizza delivery dude. You know that, don't you?
All right, so boys, we've just been asked to repeat some of the results so far. So Mad Mike had the bye. He goes up against Darren Kelly. Rob White went through. He goes up against Camo Moat. Daigo Saito went through after a one more time, we believe. Al Sharka's gone through over Anthony Billick. Cole Armstrong and Andy Worth are on a one more time, and Michael Bonney has gone through on the left side of the draw. Shane van Gisbergen has gone through so far on the right-hand side of the draw. So just repeating that again, your winners so far: Darren Kelly, Rob White, Camo Moat, Daigo Saito, Al Sharka. Armstrong and Worth go to a one more time. Bonney has gone through, and so has SVG for those up on the bank there. As we get a second look at the Joel Dimmock machine. Whilst this thing just wasn't on song last night, and JB, I don't know how he chases this one.
JB's got big problems. He's got a miss in the car. He couldn't hold it the slide this morning in practice. A few dramas in. I thought it was a crack spark plug. That didn't do the job, but hey, it's still howling super hard. Look at the chaff coming out through the radiator cap in the back window.
Yeah, 6 to the Botcher team probably means it's down to about 850.
Red flag.
Oh, we've got a red flag there, I'd say. That's because Joel Dimmock's car probably broke on track. So maybe we can go back to Toshi and Denzo and DK up there on the hill. I'm sure the fans up there, while there's a recovery, would love to hear from the esteemed DK on his thoughts so far and what he's seen on battle, and if there's been enough Suizo. So can we get a feed up there, boys, as we see a bit of pit action there on the Van Gisbergen car. Shane Van Gisbergen booking himself a spot in the top 16. Daigo Saito pitted up next to him, but hopefully we can go back to the boys up there on the hill and get some thoughts.
Saw Sato's crew there working on the car. Oh, I might be wrong. But yeah, Shane's on the job tonight. Obviously, he's got someone hired, a hired gun there to change the back wheels for him.
It was a bit rough last night. Shane Van Gisbergen doing his own tyre pressures, but hopefully we can get a bit of a feed up there from the judges' box as we see the car being refueled as well. Moz, you reckon? All right, Toshi, we're up there with you now. What are the thoughts up there from the judging panel thus far on what we've seen? Oh, Toshi's focused on the
car's starting.
Battle on the track there. Sorry. Oh, Brad Tui. Mozzie, we thought he had the good luck charm, but Brad Tui with a big straighten up going into turn number 1 there. Matty Russell, we think, has the advantage off the first part of the battle there, and Brad Tui
Wow, Brad came back nicely, but Matty Russell, I think, has done enough there. I don't know if he knew Brad had dropped back, but the little Vic Drift champion. Big shout out to the Vic Drift crew. Hey, hey! And Matty Russell looks like he might have got through.
Moz, question for you. Does Matty Russell run comms or is he old school?
Old school, mate. No comms there. They can't even afford tyres, let alone headsets.
Interestingly enough, Shane van Gisbergen running this weekend with no comms and no spotter. The call there is Matty Russell goes through. Moz is having a coronary in the commentary box. Matty Russell goes through and he will battle Shane van Gisbergen. So Matty Russell through to the top 16 up against Shane van Gisbergen. Joel Dimmock has made his way back around after we saw that red flag there. Oh, JB, what's going on?
The red flag, JB hit a starter cone. That's why it was red flagged.
Oh, so Joel Dimmock didn't take the start there, so we're rerunning this battle from the start here, so that will give Botcher the lead and Dimmock the chase.
Trouble is Botcher now has one torch set of back tyres on there, and he's got to do 2 more runs.
Well, look, I think, Moz, I'm going to err on the side of caution here, and I'm going to say that I think JB will hold back on the chase of Dimmock car. He'll be concerned about what he saw last night, where that car just wouldn't hold a nice, consistent angle. So JB, I think, will this will probably be sort of an 80-90% run, I think, from the JB team. Yeah, see, there we go. There's that problem again. His spotters definitely will be in his ears. JB is a seasoned competitor, Moz, and he will know how to do just enough to get himself through, I would think, and just enough. Looks like about 900 horsepower through the rear treads to me.
I did speak to the great Josh Botcher there, the GT radio. It was Ian Botcher, race pass back #1 driver, about the situation of chasing Joel in his new car, not wanting to damage it and whatnot. He said, I've got to nail it to the wall on my lead run, and the second run, well, I'm just going to have to try and sit back a little bit and work forward towards him at the end and hope that I don't make a mistake. So he's a fairly big advantage at the moment to JB going into that one.
Mozzie won it. Tauronga's favourite son, Dave Steadman. He's made his way out of the retirement village of Tauranga to compete at the World Time Attack for 2017, the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge, up against Queensland's Levi Clark, the Exeter Drift Team driver. RB30 underneath the bonnet of Dave Steadman, Levi Clark with the LS with the turbo strapped on it, Moz, and there is that trademark Levi Clark chase.
Yeah, Levi Clark had some problems yesterday with the fuse, kept blowing, had no thermo fans, got too hot, but hey, he's on the hot, he's hot now, he's getting right up in the cotton balls on the back of Deacon's machine through the final turn. Oh, Levi Clark nails it to the wall, of course, previous winner here at World Time Attack Drift. Good to see his crew. His dad down there works heart and soul in that machine there, the exceeding clutch machine of Levi Clark, and good to see him getting that problem sorted out there and having a great run.
Bo Yates just hydrating there in the pits, the Toyota Genuine Parts machine. We'll see Bo later on in competition. He's up against Chris Frome. That pit colour, you can see there, Moz, that the machine of Carl Thompson is parked up, and Carl Thompson, sad news for the Kiwi fans, Carl Thompson not able to take part in the top 32 battles, unfortunately. He was due to go up against Camo Moat, but a mechanical failure has taken Carl out. Bo with the helmet on, Moz?
Yeah, that's right. Bo is a little bit of a people's champion himself. You know, he's a champion driver, clinical in his execution, as we say, and looking forward to seeing him out on track after. I spoke to him last night about his qualifying run. He banked the cracker. He goes, I was going to throw it to the wall. They're going to go super hard at that second run, and that's what cost him that second run. But he was still pretty happy with his qualifying, and at the moment, he's as good as he's ever been in that car. It's great to see him up on the pace. Now, Joel Dimmock with the VR38 GTR 35 powered 240Z, running some trick machinery under the bottom. He throws it hard into turn 1. Now, Botcher was going to hang back because he knew that it was going to be a bit quicker. You watch Botcher now as he gets back up on the back of Joel Dimmock in the Campbellware back 240Z as we go through the middle part of the circuit. Botcher now up on door, as we say, and Dimmock and gets a little bit wide. Oh, lots of eagles. JB. The Dimmock, I'll tell you what, you hold yourself high for the 4th or 5th run he's done in that car. He actually nailed that. He was pretty good.
Solid effort from Joel, but JB doing exactly what he needed to do there. He knew what was going to happen, and he didn't make any mistakes. He wasn't going to put himself in a position where he was potentially going to damage the car and take himself out, as we see Andy Worth and Cole Armstrong coming out for that one more time. So let's see what happens here as we get a call. Josh Botcher does go through. Josh Botcher through the GT Radials over Joel Dimmock. But congratulations to Joel and his team, nonetheless, Moz, for presenting an immaculate machine here at World Time Attack. The debut for that machine here this week in the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. First competition outing, first laps, in fact.
Yeah, indeed. It's been an anticipated build for a lot of people as it sort of come through. And as Joel said, it's his dream car and something he's always wanted to build. And he's got his dream. Now, here we go. Levi Clark in the Origin Labo by Corporal Industries back XCD Drift Team machine. That body kit, I tell you what. The old Corporal puts a good kit together, that's for sure, out of Origin in Japan.
He is awaiting Dave Steadman from Team DSR in Tauranga. Dave Steadman coming off his best season ever in the New Zealand Drifting Series. What's
Apparently
the call,
we can't throw to the judges because they're having a feed.
Oh, good.
Denzo can't operate without a good feed.
Well, look, I'd hate for them to be hangry. We saw some scowling last night. We called Denzo what do we call him? The Simon Cowell of drifting.
Yes, indeed. He
Denzo
got the smile.
What's going here with the Chris Froome car? We've got Levi Clark driving off for a solo. So Dave Steadman must have gone back to the pits there. I'm wondering if Dave Steadman has a mechanical problem there. A few more shout-outs, Moz, while we take some colour in here from the pit area. The Chris Froome car having some issues. Hello to Sean Jones, the Ginger Ninja, watching in Owakuni. Hello to Sean, he is tuned in. Hello to Marcus Gibson from New Zealand Performance Car, and Jaden Martin also tuned in. Hello to Tony Cook, also up on the bank there. Sam Livingston from Team SCR Caravan. Sam is having a birthday tomorrow, so apparently if Prosy wins, he'll be singing happy birthday on the podium. Moz, who's tuned in from Tasmania and indeed around the world there, Moz?
Sorry, 5-minute rule for Levi Clark's just been called in the...
So the 5 minutes is for Levi, not for Dave?
For Levi,
wow,
yes,
okay.
and he clutches Origin labo by Corporate Industries backed machine. That's 15, that's very interesting. Right. Sorry, Tasmania, shout out to the Taz Drift crew down there, Tassie. And just a bunch of cats down there.
1,000 horsepower, Moz, 1,000 horsepower of RB up against the 13B of Adam Davies. If you're a Rotary fan, make some noise as Davies comes through the section. Adam Davies looking to tattoo the back of the Jake Jones car and then threw himself offline there, Moz. Got a little bit too aggressive there. Adam Davies on the chase. Jake Jones on the gas, and Adam Davies is back there in those smoke plumes, Moz. The Yokohama tyres. 100 years old.
100 years old.
100-year-old rubber. Yeah.
All I saw there was blue-ringed octopus coming out underneath Jake Jones's cephalopod-powered squid machine. It's unbelievable. The wastegate was nearly open the whole time, just smashing blue flames out between the front wheels. I love that sort of thing. And of course, the wastegate, what it does basically is remove boost to stop the turbo over boosting and keep it at a certain boost. Might be 25, might be 40 pound or whatever. So the wastegate basically vents raw flame straight out of the engine and onto the ground. Some of the guys have them out through the bonnet. We'll see some of those shortly too, because that's specky, seeing the blue flames up through the bonnet. But here we go. This is going to be the second part of the
this is an OMT. So Cole Armstrong is the higher qualifier. Qualified position number 5 last night. He will take the lead run. Andy Worth, though, has put the pressure on Moz. What did you say, 403 cubes? Was it 403
cubes of L98, running on 98 fuel, in fact, with the throttle body injection and the biggest air cleaner in the Southern Hemisphere. Brought to you by Tailbrace Steel JB Speed Shop.
So my assumption there, Moz, is probably the power to weight ratio maybe for Andy Worth might actually be higher than Cole Armstrong, given we know that Cole Armstrong actually has a relatively stock motor underneath the bonnet on E85 in the Evergreen tyres machine. Armstrong leads out here, creates a bit of a gap there over Andy Worth. Can Andy Worth come back? And some flames there, Moz, from underneath the Andy Worth car. And Cole Armstrong, he is responding to the challenge there, Moz, on the gas, torching the Evergreen rubber.
At his best there, Cole Armstrong for sure, and New Zealand, all that flame licking at the back. I love flames. And New Zealand, obviously, the big hope for New Zealand.
Okay, now what's going on? Okay, so the clock is running 1 minute for Levi Clark. Levi Clark is working frantically, so this is the 5-minute rule here for Levi Clark. 1 minute and 10 seconds elapsed there. Our officials
What's he doing?
He's paying close attention. So Clark's got the rear off there. He's checking some pressures. See what's going on there.
Someone needs a new phone screen. Clark, get that sorted out, please. Yes.
What is Clark looking to do there? So he's in there assisting his crew as we see Adam Davies and Jake Jones coming back. Adam Davies and Dave Steedman's cars just look fantastic, don't they?
They do. I love
blue,
them,
white, and red there. It's sort of a Captain America-like almost, but with the subtle graphics there. And hello to Andrew Stewart from AWS Graphics, the man behind the designs on the Max Mufflers Monaco Ryco 24/7 team.
I thought it was a New Zealand flag colour.
It is the New Zealand flag colours. It's good spotting. I preferred Captain America. It's also Captain Underpants, which we threatened you would appear as tonight. Jake Jones, what's he got on the chase? This is the first time the Squid has ever chased in this car, ladies and gentlemen. And the Squid, here he comes. Jake Jones hopped some curve there on the inside there, Moz, but I don't think it's going to impact him too much there as the flames come out of the front of the Adam Davies machine. But the Squid looks like he's settling in at home in the new Squidmobile, the RBM3.
He's been about a bit this weekend too. Every time I turn around, he's standing there, the Squid. Of course, his mum was getting autographs off all the superstars for him today, which is nice.
Yeah, we thought what was happening there was that Jake's mum was getting an autograph off Mad Mike for Jake. So, dear Squid, chase your dreams.
And booking a spot in the Sweet 16, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jake Jones and the Yokohama-backed RBM3.
Well, so Adam Davies, unfortunately, his journey at the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge will end in the top 32. So Davies is out. Dave Steadman will be left to fight for the pride of Tauranga. As we see, Levi Clark strapping back in there. And he is ready to go. So they have the chase run coming, I believe, for Dave Steadman. Levi Clark will have the lead as we see the return. Yeah, hello, boys. How are we? Are you all having a good time up there on the bank? You're on camera? Yeah, hello. You're yeah, you know, you're waving. Hello, lad. Hello, young lady. Oh, it's good to see some females in the crowd. Hello, hello. Are you having fun? Yes. Great.
They can hear us, which is a good thing.
This is good. This is good, Moz. We still have no sign of our judges because we think they're still eating. We can't bring them on the camera. They'll jump in on the top 16, Moz. They'll let us know what's going on here. Cole Armstrong, what's he going to do here, Moz? Does he hang back? Does he go with Worth?
Look, you know, Worth's going to try and skip away. He knows Cole's got a good line at the moment. The car's set up like spot on, bang on point, you know, and it's chalk and hard. So Andy's going to have to try and skip away slightly at the start here as we go into the initiation cones. Worth now flicks, so both cars go together. Cole trying to stick with him now as we get up to clipping point number 2. Oh, here comes Cole Armstrong in the Evergreen machine.
See if he gets on the left foot brake again here. I see the brake lights just lighting up there on the front of the cars there. Cole Armstrong just has great technique there and his chase form is strong. We know that DK loves the little 86, but it'll be interesting to see which way they go there because we're obviously keen to see this event progressing, Moz. We were possibly talking about limiting one more times to just one. But I think that one might have a chance.
It has a chance, there's no doubt about that. Hey, check this one out, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Frome in the V8 turboed R34 up against Sydney's own Bo Yates in their Toyota Genuine Parts Achilles tyres Komatsu back machine. A Hypertune doing the work on this, and it is a piece of art, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's not anything underneath the bonnet of the... Oh, we have a call. New Zealand Drift fans. Cole Armstrong goes through. Cole Armstrong through over Andy Worth. So Cole Armstrong has a battle in the top 16 with Michael Bonney. And that's going to be a great battle. Bond Slide up against the New Zealand champion.
Yeah, too right. Here we go on the outside and leading away is Bo Yates in the Toyota Genuine Parts 86. Coming at him is Chris Frome though in the silver. Rob White Motorsport back machine with Firemex aboard as well. Both there. Oh, Rob. Oh, no, sorry. Frome. Oh,
we know that he had some mechanicals before as they were underneath the bonnet of that car. I wonder if it shut down on him.
It looked like it shut down. It squared up, just went straight ahead. I'm not sure what it looked like from up in the hill there, but very unfortunate indeed. Is that Mad Mike? It is Mad Mike.
It is Mad Mike. It's our first look at Mad Mike in the top 16. Head-to-head with Darren Kelly, two opponents who know each other very well, so they will go into the 16.
They tell me Mad Mike was a motocross rider before he got into drifting, and his love for two-strokes got him into the rotary scene.
Seems to be a common theme. Motocross riders who hurt themselves too much and break bones tend to end up in drift cars. It's amazing.
Was he quick? Was he fast?
Oh, he was. Yeah, I believe he was a national level competitive, and of course he was very at home in freestyle motocross. In particular, was Mad Mike's forte.
Was he mad then, or was he mad when he got the
I think he came out of the womb mad. To be fair.
Gotcha.
I think that's just how he rolls. Pretty much. That's pretty much how he is. So Levi Clark, of course, called 5 minutes before. The Exeter Drift team have got the car back out there. The Accelera tyres, I believe, on the rear. So let's see how Queensland's Levi Clark goes. The LS Turbo up against the machine of Dave Steadman. Loco Max Mufflers, Ryco 24/7 entry out of Tauranga.
Now Dave's got the RB under the bonnet?
Does have an RB underneath the bonnet. Sort of a running joke back in New Zealand, the RFB. RFB. Appears on Bogan sometimes. Look it up. Sounds it. Your phone will tell you it's duck. Dave Steadman throws in behind Levi Clark. Levi Clark nice and quick into that first section there. Dave has got to get up onto the back of the Levi Clark machine. Dave goes shallow through there, Moz. He doesn't go to the outside there. The flames are popping, but Levi Clark has just left Dave Steadman behind. What's going on there for Dave Steadman? Just looked like he just didn't have the speed.
Oh, no. Oh, he's still wound up across the line. Stephen
that sounded like that was a frustration Limmy down the straight, I think. That was the RFB Limmy.
I was just making sure the bow springs knew where they had to stay.
Did you know, Moz, that's actually a mating call in Henderson in New Zealand?
The limiter?
Yeah, the RFB Limmy. You just go and park up a pack and save in Henderson.
This RFB's worrying me.
Brings all the ladies running, apparently, the boys tell me.
The milkshake brings all the...
That's the one, the RFB Limmy. So what you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, is our drift hot pit. That is the Jake Jones machine, the RBM3.
Big shout out to the Huey's Transport crew as well for helping get the Jake Jones here.
It's from Adelaide, isn't it?
Adelaide, yep, that's the home base for the Yokohama-backed RBM3 of the Squid.
Nice to see Mrs. Squid has been... Mum's been here, but so has Mrs. Squid.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to all the drifting mums out there too, because I tell you what, they support their sons through thick and thin. And big shout out to the mamas. I love mums; they're excellent, and we all should have one.
That's a great point, actually. I saw that Cole Armstrong's mum is here as well, Leanne and Bryce, fresh from their globe trotting around the place. Hello, fans. How are you up there on the hill? Yeah, we can see you. If you can see any of the judges, throw something at them. We're not sure that they're still awake, so we want to make sure that they're still keeping all eyes on things. Mick Rosenblatt, Newlawn Oils machine, the R32 chassis with the LS under the bonnet. Mozzie, you've got some information for me. What do you got?
Levi Clark books himself a spot in the Sweet 16 there in the Origin Labour by Corporate Industries. XCD clutch back S15 from Queensland.
Oh, tough weekend for DSR. They are both on the trailer. Davies and Stedman are gone in the 32, so pretty much everyone in Tauranga can go to bed now if they're not a DSR fan.
Aren't they like retirees there anyway?
Yeah, but you probably want to stay up because your other favourite son, Cole Armstrong, is still in battle and he's looking pretty good. Mickey Rosenblatt.
5 minutes for Chris Frome, 5 minutes as we go into this battle here. Mike Frozencat up against Luke Fink, two of Queenslanders there. Fink with his blown head gasket. They put the car back together, fingers crossed. Heaps of Newlawn radiator sealer and head gasket sealer in there. And Fink's coming at him. Both Rosenblatt, one of the favourites, and here comes the underpowered Luke Fink. Wow.
Yeah, Fink basically is going to kill this thing, or he's going to just run into the back of someone. Luke Fink is super aggressive, and he's basically running on borrowed time. It's a question of how long that car holds together for, but he ain't holding anything back, Miles. He won't die wondering.
I did notice in the back window of that car it said Ultimate Subaru Spares. Now, they're a little company down there in Tasmania run by a pretty cool bloke.
Hello, Shane, watching on the live stream. Shane Van Gisbergen, that's you. You can see your own back there. Hello, Shane. There you go. You're about to
a bit of a delay, you see, so that comes through a little bit later. Yeah.
Right.
That's all right, though. Here we go.
Gaia Wheels Racing entry. Michael Prosnick, the Dewars Race Engines. LS underneath the bonnet up against Drew Donovan. Donny D.
Australia versus New Zealand. Wow, here we go, the Pros, who is on song in this Duo Motorsport built engine. Supreme Caravans and Gia Wheels back in there with another body kit from the Corporate Industries Origin Labo. Here we go out wide. Oh, hold a beautiful line.
Look at Prosnick's line, Miles. Look at the smoke. Drew Donovan's in there somewhere. Donny D holding it flat, but he just cannot keep up with that machine. How rapid is the Prosnick car?
Mate, it was almost like a trucker dumped a heap of snow over the top of Donny D.
That's the Dylan Woolhouse boat anchor. Moz, you were here when that thing buzzsawed itself apart on Thursday in practice.
Very unfortunate there because he only got a couple of laps in, and we're hoping for big things from the V8 powered RX-7 there. And I hadn't seen Dylan drift before. I was looking forward to that. And all he wanted to do was blow the engine up to go fishing for kingfish.
Well, that's what you told me. You said that Dylan blew that car up on purpose so that he could go fishing.
Like Cole Trickle, we just held it. You didn't want to be in the car.
Yes, so thank you to Link ECU for supporting Dylan Woolhouse across the Tasman for his international competition debut. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be this year, but Moz, he's announced a Camaro for the coming season. So maybe we haven't seen the last of Dylan Woolhouse, cousin of the infamous Fangadan Woolhouse.
Infamous. The cartel-backed machine of Luke Fink with Kumo tyres getting on board for this one as well. And this is going to be a cracker. Shockworks backing the Luke Fink machine. He's going to lead out on Michael Rosenblatt, one of the best chasers in the game, as you like to say. The Newlawn Oils back Commodore Records machine out of Queensland. Here we go. This will be huge. Fink's going to have to use all his talent and a little bit more. Dip it on his bag of tricks like Felix the Cat. Here we go. Out super wide. Fink straightens big time between 1 and 2. He might have to try and skip away, but no, another small straighten from Fink. Gets out wide though. Tries to hold it. Here comes Mike Rosenblatt up on the door. Through the back door we go. Fink still with plenty of angle. It's going to be hard to call, you know, because Mike Rosenblatt did all he could. He couldn't do any more.
Yeah, I think Mike Rosenblatt doing a great job there, Moz. You saw that he obviously had to make a bit of an evasive manoeuvre because he knocked the windscreen wipers on, just trying to make sure that he could see.
That's what he was making pizzas. He was flipping pizza bases.
Apologies if you're picking up that noise outside. That's the 767B being loaded on the trailer right outside the commentary booth here of the Moz and Woz show. And that thing is just a beautiful sound, Moz. We've been treated to some spectacular rotary noises this weekend. Johnny D
I just
on
want
the
to get
start
inside
finish line. Hello to Jody and Lunchy up on the hill there. They are his Donny D's crew, Drew Donovan, the Harcon suspension team backing Drew Donovan, and another AWS livery on that car. Moz
AWS,
design.
is that the artwork?
It is.
I'm
AWS graphics, yeah, so you can have a look at
that. Is a cool wrap, if you like, there. Drive Industries, Harcon, AWS, those guys have got it going on, haven't they? Is that their own design?
Well, yeah, well known for doing the livery on a Hayden Pattern rally car at one point, Moz. So,
what cool dude right there, man. Wow.
International rally scene, but Moz, I think there's an uphill battle here facing Drew Donovan. Is this his first laps back in the car since it broke in qualifying last night?
It is, you know.
I didn't see Donovan in the demo this afternoon, so
no. But he's a very talented driver. He's been racing in China, Europe?
Drew Donovan has been competing around Asia. He's been doing some drift schools around the place. He's fairly well known in New Zealand for his solid performances. The windscreen wipers are going, but I don't know if it's an indication of anything, Moz. You got some info coming through? What do you got?
Was a lingo. Yates and Frome. Frome called 5 minutes. Frome is out. Bo Yates in the Sweet 16.
Moz?
Yes.
Jake Jones up against Bo Yates.
Oh, dear.
Top 16.
Two of my favourites are going to go up against. I hate it when this happens. Okay, Pros up against the New Zealand superstar, Donny D. Turn one, we go Donovan with some dramas there. Can't get the angle on. Lost the power. He's going to pick it up now. Donovan was very straight. Oh, we've got rain. That's what's going on. It's raining out there.
Raining up there on the hill. That's not a good sign, Moz.
It's not stopping Pros from lighting up the pits.
I suddenly feel like Shane Van Gisbergen's the hot favourite.
Yeah.
He had some practice last weekend for about 6 odd hours.
He certainly did, and found the limit of that car a couple of times. Hey, selfie time.
Daigo Saito machine being fired up in the pits. We had a call yet, the official call for Rosenblatt and Fink. No, the judge is still deliberating on that one. Prosnick and Donovan, we've just seen them through. Just repeat the results that we have locked in. So Widdett versus Kelly, we'll see shortly. Robbie White versus Camo Moat. Daigo Saito versus Al Sharka. And Cole Armstrong versus Michael Bonney. Shane Van Gisbergen versus Matty Russell. Josh Botcher up against Levi Clark. Jake Jones, the Drift Squid, up against Bo the Show Yates. And awaiting results for Rosenblatt, Fink and Prosnick and Donovan.
And we've got it one more time for Mike Rosenblatt and Luke Fink. Has that car got any more in it, though? Luke Fink just threw everything at the track. We've also been told Chris Frome, power steering belt.
Right, so that would explain why the bonnet was up, and waiting on the Prosnick-Donovan call to come through to our able assistant, Squeak.
Yeah, massive shout-out to Damon Squeak Grimwood here helping us out, the production assistant with comms to the tower.
Official call, the Pros, the People's Champion, goes through over Drew Donovan.
Prosy. He was always going to do it, wasn't he? Surely that thing is on fire at the moment. On rails, if you like to say. Sideways rails at that.
Yeah, I think he looks good, Moz. Now, Mozzie, are we going to do our usual little sweepstake here? We usually try and figure out who we think is going to land where. I was pretty keen to try and predict a top 4, but I couldn't go any further than that. And based on what I'm seeing so far, here's my prediction for the top 4. I'm going to say it's going to be, I reckon, Mad Mike up against Daigo Saito on the left-hand side of the tree.
With a whisker of Robbie White on the side.
I think Widdett, in the form that he's in, and with the weight of New Zealand behind him, every message I'm getting, Moz, just about is Rotan Clan hard, Mad Mike for the win, Mad Mike, yeah, the boys. Other side of the draw, Moz, I think Shane Van Gisbergen, and I'm going to say up against Bo Yates, I reckon is probably going to be the way that one might go. So that's my pick for the top 4, Moz. What are your thoughts as we take in some colour there? That is Jody Verholst on screen. Miss Drift, hello Jody.
Well, I'm a bit of a sucker here. I'm going to have to go Robbie White to get through there, and he'll be going up there against, I reckon, Cole Armstrong. I really can see Cole coming on strong. On the other side of the card, I've got to go with Matty Russell, man. I have to.
You have to go with Matty Russell?
Little champion mate, but Jake Jones, he'll he'll be in there too. Jones and Pros I'm picking up on the right-hand side, so you got Giz in that one.
Yeah, so you and I are going to have very, very different looking top fours, Moz, if they were to come true. And guess what? Neither of our opinions actually matter. We're just the loudmouths that have got the microphones, the guys up on the hill, the man who invented the sport, right? So this is what makes me laugh about drifting, right? Every internet expert knows more than the guy who invented the sport. He spent his life developing
Rosenblatt's doing tyres and fuel. Why that's going on, it's getting wetter. Guess who gets the advantage out of Rosenblatt and Fink if it rains? The guy with the least amount of horsepower.
Although we do know that Rosenblatt was a champion karter, so he will not be bothered by a little bit of rain. It's pretty hard to chuck those little things around with a damp and greasy surface.
Yeah, Luke Fink obviously on the right-hand side of the car, carrying a couple of kilos too, a bit like yourself, so he'll be able to have a bit of weight on the outside wheels would be advantage, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Are we able to get any feedback from the judges as to how wet it actually is up there? Boys, have you got your ears on? Can you hear us up there? Toshi, DK, Denzo? Have you got your ears on, boys?
They're in a little container, so they'll be dry.
We want to know how wet it is. Hello, we can see you, Toshi. Hello. Hello. How wet is it?
We just lost our inside monitor right now. That's why. Sorry about that. We could see you down on the hill, but yeah.
We want to know how wet it is up there, Toshi. How much rain is up there?
You know, we were complaining about the box before, but now we're so thankful. We just want to thank everybody for, you guys are hardcore sitting through the rain and just drifting right now. It's like みんなすごいですよね、雨の中でも。
Yeah.
ね、お客さんがずっと見ててくれるのがすごくありがたい。
So he's really thankful too that the fans are still continuing to watch the event and really putting up with these the weather conditions. But maybe that's how you guys roll.
Yeah, Toshi, a couple of requests coming in from fans. Will DK be dancing again this year? We saw some dancing from him last year.
That's a jig.
Will he be dancing? Any dancing from DK this year?
去年みたいに今度ダンスとかやってくれるんですか？
やりませんよ。
Yeah, he's like, no, he's not gonna dance.
All right, boys, we've been told that we are ready to go in there. It's Mickey Rosenblatt who had to put some fresh rubber on the back of the car. I think DK's keen for a little dance.
I love his reactions, man. You know, it's when he likes something, you know that he likes it. He doesn't have to say a thing.
Yeah, we should have just a DK cam. That's it. Just monitoring him. Be like a reality TV show within a live stream. It'd be great.
Some of the blokes are a little bit obsessed, I noticed, with the DK. It's probably gone too long. Things are going to be weird.
A couple of people who were following him around relatively obsessively today, and look, we thank him for making himself available within his busy schedule and actually being here and contributing his knowledge.
The guy that stripped off his underpants out in front of the here for the autograph
that was
session
you.
To get him. Oh, sorry, don't.
That wasn't you.
I'm trying to blame someone else, was. All right. Okay, this is going to be a good one. Wet track now. Michael Rosenblatt with some 800 odd horsepower. Luke Fink with about 18. As we go down to turn number one, look for the initiation run. Fink on the inside, tries to get in the door. Rosenblatt now, flames popping at the back now. And we go into turn number two, bit of break there. Luke Fink working hard on the wheel. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It is textbook from both drivers. Big straight in there from Mike Rosenblatt. Fink on the perfect line through the final turn, skipping away with slightly Mike Rosenblatt. Has he done enough there to get away from Fink?
Well, look, I think there was a mistake there from Rosenblatt. Fink held a nice line there. The lower power, obviously, to his advantage there. And that would be like driving on ice up there now, Miles. There will be so much rubber on that track from the time attack action we've seen today. We think probably good sets of rubber went on for the top 5 shootouts for all of those pro cars. So it'll be an ice rink up there, Mozzie. And look, it's a lottery now. We've got no idea now who's going to go through to compete in that final, but
there's a little tent there. If you look in the middle of the screen,
yeah, that's us. That's us there. Yeah, the little white dot that you can see in the middle of the screen there.
That's where we hanging out was.
Hello, boys. So there we are, Moz and Was show on air. This is our 7th year bringing you the show, Moz and Was. We're down here because we're the faces for radio, really, aren't we, Moz?
Yeah, and thanks to Honeywell Garrett, of course, for paying our wage.
Thank you, Honeywell Garrett, for sponsoring the 2017 International Drift Challenge, and we do appreciate your support. Moz, we'll be doing the presentations down here, we think, in the pits, so if you are still here, please do hang around and come down and show your appreciation to these drivers for the absolutely amazing effort that they've gone to get their cars here and put on a show for you, and we thank you, the fans, for joining us. Moz, were you going to dance? Do you want to throw down a challenge to DK? I heard you can do a pretty mean robot.
I can do a caterpillar. I can do I can do the sprinkler and things like that, you know, and a shopping trolley and stuff,
Yeah, so
you're not really impressed, are you?
I'm not that impressed. I'd been watching reruns of the video Poirier, which is a New Zealand classic, and the robot on the roof. And I was hoping you might do that as we see Mickey Rosenblatt lining up on the start-finish line What will he do here in chase with Luke Fink? I feel like Luke Fink has some racecraft, Moz.
Look, you know, he drives all the time, basically. He's got his own track, if you like, up in Queensland at Archerfield. Just come back from Greece doing 2 meetings over there in Europe. And jumped in his own little car here. All the boys have been put together back in Australia while he was away. Mike Rosenblack, he's going to have to work hard here because Luke Fink will be online. Now, small angle from both cars.
You see those water roofs though, Moss? Yeah. You can see how much that track's changed up there. The guys just
moist.
on that.
Very
on
moist.
the handbrake, just locking it up there.
Fink's online, or washing a little bit wide. It gives Michael Rosenblack a chance to get up. Angle-wise, I'm not sure. The Jay doesn't know.
This is Torval and Dean. Luke Fink's got the hand out the window, the shuckers.
Throwing the sharkers to the fans. You go, son. He's one of the most popular, of course, drivers in Australia. Luke Fink, ex-world BMX champion.
Most colourful drivers in the paddock. Hello to Josh Smith. Josh Smith Drift Team tuned in.
Josh Smith from down Tasmania. Good bunch of cats.
Hello to Simon Burke, tuned in as well. Simon Burke and the Hagishi Standing team are tuned in as well. Mark Strawbridge, hello to Mark Strawbridge, he's tuned in as well, probably keeping Marcus Gibson company. Hello to Georgie and Simon Lee, tuned in Tauranga. Sorry that Team DSR back on the trailer. Moz, I feel like I'm dominating this from the New Zealand point of view. We do need to send a shout out to our man Scott Shembry up on the hill as well. Luke Fink.
Whoa.
Fink takes out Mick Rosenblatt, Chris Dawsey. The first round at the bar is on you, Dawsey. Moz will have a jug
yes, indeed.
Of lemonade.
Thank you very much. Wow, yeah, Luke Fink there in the Ultimate Subaru Spares, Kumo tyres, Cartel online backed a little 86 that could, and the rain came right at the right time when he needed it there with that one more time, and got the JOB done nicely there. He wasn't going to twist Mother Earth on her axis with the power he had, but the skill bag was opened up big time.
Our first look tonight at New Zealand's cult hero, Mad Mike Whittett, head-to-head with Darren Kelly. Look at the smoke coming off those rear tyres, Moz. He's got the Nitto rubber, the NTO5s on the back. Hello to Sarah Marshall from Nitto Tyres. Hello to Kat Benson as well, tuned in with Andrew Redwood at the TJM headquarters. Hello to the Darren Kelly fans tuned in back home as well. Not everyone can make the trip over here, Moz. Which way are you leaning in this one? I've seen Mad Mike drive in the rain. He's pretty solid, mate. He doesn't really back off much, does he? He was the guy who at FD qualifying wanted to go out and run in the rain when nobody else wanted to.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them run in the rain. You've got a better idea with 2 Kiwis on the screen. I'm stepping aside.
Why is a guy from Tasmania suggesting that the Kiwi would know something about driving in the wet conditions? But Darren Kelly throws in on the door of Mad Mike. He is right with him. Darren Kelly's going to make contact just about. Darren Kelly has to save it. Goes to the inside of Mad Mike Whittett. Darren Kelly trying not to pass there. Look at that rain coming down as the sparks come off the Mad Mike Whittett car. Darren Kelly, Mad Mike Whittett. It is messy up there, Moz. It is untidy, and both drivers there making a couple of mistakes, and I would not want to be a judge in these conditions up there, Moz.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't be a spectator up there either right now, just quietly, but well.
But we do appreciate the spectators who are up there. We love you guys. We appreciate our fans, and the drivers love the fans who put in the effort and stay behind to show the appreciation of their crafts. Camo Moat, the man who was responsible single-handedly basically for converting both Emma and Chad to drift fans, up against Rob White for Monster Energy. Rob White, I believe, possesses probably the best sounding car in the field. There is nothing that sounds quite like the Rob White machine when it's on song. So let's see what Rob White and Camo Moat can produce. It's a real shame that unfortunately we don't have the smoke show spectacle, but it does give you a great appreciation of the level of throttle control that Camo Moat and Rob White will possess, and indeed the entire field. So here we go with Robbie White and Camo Moat for Link ECU, Robbie White for Monster Energy. The boys going to turn number 1. It was about 170k entry. The chase car now just got to be so careful that it doesn't just peel into the rear of the lead car there, and you see that Camo Moat's had to pull up, and as a result he loses there must be some standing water up there. There's got to be standing water. Camo Moat has pulled out of the drift. Camo Moat pulled out of the drift there for a long period of time. Both drivers went off the edge of the track there, and then Camo Moat just straightened right up there. So Camo Moat maybe just experiencing a bit of understeer forward there. And Rob White just checking conditions down there. I think those guys are going to have to be pretty careful of standing water down that main straight there, considering how much action this track has seen here. Sydney Motorsport Park in Sydney. Thank you, Destination New South Wales, for being a sponsor of this incredible festivity here at Sydney Motorsport Park. And again, thank you to all of our partners this weekend. Honeywell, Garrett, of course, the sponsors of the Drift Challenge, along with Yokohama, the naming rights partner, the World Time Attack, which we saw taken away by Tim Slade earlier on today with a phenomenal time of 1:20. And who would have thought that a 1:20 was possible in converted road cars? They're not anything else really. They're purpose-built time attack machines from converted road cars. Hello to Brett Peters. Hello to Brett Peters from Lux Performance, and hello to Adam and Joe Mulder, along with Cleo, tuned in from DKM in New Zealand. What's Mad Mike Whittock got for Darren Kelly there? He aims up on that Nissan logo on the door. Mike Whittock going with a Mad Mike. Mad Mike goes straight ahead there for a little period of time. There is just no grip out there, ladies and gentlemen. These guys, absolutely phenomenal skills. We do appreciate you staying tuned in with us. These guys are now skating on ice. They're probably in the top of fourth gear. The wheel speeds will be well up. They're just not getting any traction whatsoever out of those semi-slick tyres. It is just torrential conditions out there. And look, we feel sorry. Moz and I feel incredibly sorry for the judges up there too. Well, the call has come through immediately from the judges. Mad Mike goes through. Darren Kelly on the trailer. Mad Mike straight through to the top 8. And Darren Kelly on the trailer. Camo Moat will come back. Mate, the boys are having a hard time up there.
Look, it's not good really for watching or here, listening even when it rains. But hey, it's part of the sport. We're not NASCAR. We don't pack up and go home.
Nah, we run, rain, hail or shine. That's how drifters roll. Camo Moat, Rob White. Rob White out of retirement for the event. Memories of Moz, this battle 12 months ago. Rob White fell off the track.
He did, yeah. He had some clutch dramas that weekend, and he's back here now. Thanks to Monster Energy, of course, KDH brake pads and motor oils. Camo Moat, it's side by side through the final door. Wheel on door.
Phenomenal car control, Moz.
Yeah, it certainly was. Especially when we got 1,000 horsepower or so, a big angry V8 under the bonnet. And wow, top job.
Isn't it amazing that sort of only having 800 horsepower is not enough in this field? Al Shaka.
You can't turn down a V8 NA either, though, can you? I mean, that's where it's at. Rob White through to the top 8. Well done, Rob White.
So we're going to have the classic Red Bull Monster Energy battle in the top 8.
That'd be cool. Look at that rain coming down up there. Wow.
I wonder if we'll see anyone being carried to their car like we did at Bathurst last week to keep the boots dry. Yeah. Daigo Saito and Al Shaka.
Sticky tyres will work well in these situations as well. Of course, you get more grip with a stickier tyre, but you've got to get up to temp to make it work.
Nice to see the Shark out there in the top 16. Good to see Alex getting a result. But Daigo just about goes 90 degrees, but keeps the drift going. Did not lose his drift there, Moz. But that was it was a monster of a correction there. Shaka. You can see that car's going nowhere, and Shaka actually closing up by virtue of having less horsepower, Moz.
Yeah, that's right, Shaka. They're probably a bit less grippier tyres too. I'm chipping them those ones on the machine there at Saito. As Mad Mike backs into the pits there, booking himself a spot in the top 8. Look at that back rim, it looks bent.
Moz, so here's something I'll point out to you too. Mad Mike Whittock, one of the few drifters that wears a Hans device.
Yeah, true, but we'll become... for everybody to have them short, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, as FIA increases their involvement in global drifting, I think we'll be headed that way very shortly. But I've always found it odd that the people choose to argue against Hans devices, saying they can't see because of the angle, etc. Well, I've seen Mike drive, and I've seen how much angle that guy's got, so you're telling me you got more angle than Mike?
Yeah, well, that's it. You do it with your backside, not your hands most of the time anyway, don't you?
Look,
your backside drives your right foot, and that's how much angle you get on. You know where you're going if you know what you're doing. Yeah. And that's exactly what Mad Mike does. But, look, hands devices, pluses, there's minuses all across it. But, the biggest thing is the expense. But when you're talking about how much tyres and fuel these guys go through for a weekend, the price of a Hans device is not much at all.
Cole Armstrong now, Michael Bonslide by C&D Motorworks, 800 odd horsepower of S50. Oh, look at this, Cole Armstrong gives it a big kick, and a bit of a scando, Moz, was it?
It was. I think he was trying to scando, but Cole, he's a character. I've seen him in the best dude this weekend. He's a happy-go-lucky sort of man, hugs for everybody. Long arms on the lad too. Yeah,
he's about 6'4" at the best of times, and I think if he put his arms in there too, he'd be about 15 feet tall. It's like a giant giraffe.
You know what they say about people with long arms?
No, Moss.
They got long arms.
Armstrong. Hello, we're back. Hello. we're still down here, so we're dry.
I'm Chaz Mostert.
Oh, you're Chaz
tonight.
Mostert. I thought you were going to pull out a Chad Nailon mask there for a moment, Moz. So we're having a good time. We're all right down here in the box. It's nice and comfortable down here in the commentary booth of the Moz and Woz show.
Yeah, we're having a good night. It's dry in here anyway, but you know, the worst thing about this is that we've been building up to it for a long time, especially the last couple of days. After it's all over, the adrenaline drains out. Man, it's drift withdrawal symptoms. Tomorrow's not going to be good fun.
Moz, does it look like it's drying up to you too? Is that shower past? I think there wasn't any rain falling on the camera there. Didn't look quite as heavy up the top as it was before. So if the guys keep going the way they are, I wonder if we might see a dry line emerging as we get through to maybe the 8, as we get a look here at Daigo Saito in the chase with Al Sharker, and it is the lead car's prerogative to try and... No, that rain's definitely not lifting up.
I'm going to say, mate, you're being hopeful, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah, my apologies, Moz. I need to put my glasses on. I don't know who let me out of the time. Oh, Sharker spins! Oh. Al Sharker does the full 360 in front of Daigo Saito. Deja vu for that man. He would have had memories of last year, Moz.
Yeah. Now, I've got some shout-outs from some of my friends. Just
there we
show
go.
that I'm the Nigel
Wait, we've got a Canadian replay here of the Link ECU entry doing the beautiful pirouette, and then we'll go to shout-outs from Tasmania. The judges score that an 8 out of 10 for ice skating points. Unfortunately, in drifting, it is a 0.
Canadian action replay here at the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. Matty Wilkinson, Jessica Nicholson, get amongst it. Nathan Rodham Lockie wants to see me dance. Jace Clemens, shout out, watching the rain, and he wants to dance as well. This is a bit odd.
There's a lot of requests for you dancing, Moz.
Yeah, I know.
Who started that?
Beggs, the Wombat. He's watching as well. Johnny Barnes, Luke Broadbent. You know, Broadbent, he raced here a few years back, and he was on song.
He was backed by, there was purple, there was a Safiro, right?
That's right, Purple Safira, yep. And also got Adam Clark, Michael Solomon there as well. Shout out to the RAAF boys watching this in the Philippines. Hello, boys.
Yeah, armed forces.
We're loving it here. Definitely loving it up here at World Time Attack. Although this rain puts a little bit of a damper in more way than one on the action. It's not quite as spectacular as it is when the tyres are blazing cotton balls off the back of them.
Is it good fishing with the Moz?
Oh, fishing weather's great in the rain. Yeah, the tuna come on super strong.
What's Moz's hot tip at the moment? You call it the hot bite, don't you?
The hot bite, yes. Well, we've got the squid going hard at the moment at home. Heaps of squid on the chew. Tuna still on the chew, and the flathead are coming in strong too. But this is a strong battle. Australia versus New Zealand. Michael Bonney out of Victoria, the Vic Drift champion, comes in there up against Cole Armstrong and the Evergreen R34 machine all the way from where in New Zealand?
Oh, Armstrong with an understeer, Moz. He's had a problem there. Is he going to be able to recover that? Cole Armstrong winds the lock on there. Michael Bonney out front. Got to hold it together. Where's Armstrong in relation to Bonney? Bonney winds on the lock, now keeps it going. Armstrong, he made that mistake there, Moz. Is our assistant Diggles turns up with
it's Christmas
enough
time.
Sugar to give someone diabetes, basically.
I think I've already got it, just looking at it.
Is Camo Moat working hard on the front of the car. Hello, Camo.
Oh, no,
thumbs down from Camo Moat.
Unfortunate there. We love Camo. He's a champion.
Oh, look at that. We've had a door tattoo. Camo Moat's been tattooed.
He's got a scab on the door.
Who would that have been? Would that have been Robbie White?
I reckon it was Ricky Bobby up there on the door. Yep, indeed. Robbie White, the grandfather of the drift.
He doesn't look that impressed, does he, Moz?
I tell you, he looked impressed. Rob White the other day on Facebook with his kid in the back of the car holding a Minion, I think it was, and he's enjoying the fatherhood thing too, the Minion aboard. Robbie White, I hope he's got the Minion aboard the car this weekend as well. It might bring him some luck. But Saito and Sharker, I'd say Sato's going to get through on that one, waiting for a call from the judges.
Here's how you test your luck when you're Matty Russell. You take out Brad Toohey and then you come up against Shane Van Gisbergen. So Matty Russell, if he gets this one done, Moz, you might name a state after him or something.
What's he doing, the little champion? It's a hard road he's going through here. Very hard road.
He's not making life easy for himself. Now, do we have a call there for Armstrong and Bonney as yet?
Still waiting on Armstrong and Bonney as well, are we?
All right, so Moz and I, we might just grab a little bit of water quickly here, team. Just apologies if we go silent for a moment. We're going to a one more time for Armstrong and Bonney. One more, so that's a second one more time for that battle. Cole Armstrong's making hard work of this, Moz. He's not making his life easy. Shane Van Gisbergen and Matty Russell, the little AE86 that could. Russell doing what he can. And Russell is entitled to sit ahead of the lead car up until the cone there, just as they initiate there. And Matty Russell doing the right thing there for a lower horsepower car. The little 86 that could. Van Gisbergen with a messy transition into turn number 17. But Matty Russell chucks it away. So that's probably going to be 0-0s, I'd just about say there, Moz, depending on how the rest of this run goes. If Matty Russell spins versus Van Gisbergen with a messy correction there. He did go the opposite way, but K&N action replay here. Shane Van Gisbergen has an issue there, goes the opposite way. Now, in the FD scoring system, Moz, that would be a 0, I believe. But then Matty Russell has a massive issue.
Did Matty Russell back off a little bit because there was a...
Well, look, I don't think he was close enough probably to say that Shane Van Gisbergen was the prime cause of that, because it was just to straighten up in a wobble from Van Gisbergen. He got back in it. You're pretty hopeful, Moz. You're trying to make things happen for Matty Russell.
Straws or something. Yeah, no straws here. Okay, underway we go. Josh Botcher out of Queensland up against Levi Clark out of Queensland. Wow. Smith there on that machine.
See what JB's got.
Out.
The good news for Botcher, right, is that the rain probably means that if that thing's been hurt horsepower-wise, it's not going to struggle as much as maybe it would have in dry conditions. Clark falls a long way back there. Levi Clark, I don't think can get that thing up on boost, Moz.
Levi's down there in struggle town at the moment, mate. Very unfortunate, but Josh Botcher showing the superstar. He's still ADGP #1 in Australia. We'll hold that one for quite a while. GT Radials, they're not sticky as tie, but they're doing the JOB right there for JB.
All right, there's the Mad Mike Whittett machine on screen. Mike Squire working his magic on the car there next to the Daigo Saito machine.
Mike Squire's the man responsible, is he?
There's a few boys down there, and Leon Scott's down there as well, along with Hugo McLean. Young Hazza over here on media duties as well for the Mad Mike Motorsports team.
Hazza McLean. Sounds like the superstar material.
Bondslide and Cole Armstrong. Cole Armstrong's going to run out of tyres at the rate he's going, Moz.
Yeah,
and it's before we even get through to the top 8.
Yeah, indeed. Tommy Monkhouse on the feed as well. Shady Andrews there.
Did Monkhouse drive? Was it Monkhouse that drove a little while ago too? Was he here for our first year, maybe?
Tommy was here the first year. Yep, indeed. Christy McLaughlin out there as well. And a shout out to Adam Banks, I should say. Nick Wade says Matty Russell will win this. Millie wants he's doing a Millie wants Matty Russell, the People's Champion, taking it out.
There's that little scando again from Cole Armstrong. Cole Armstrong's taking a different approach. Now, it'll be interesting to just pick up the camera feed there from turn number 1 there, because I think Bondslide straightened up there and behind Armstrong there as both go off the edge of the track there. Bondslide's starting to find a little bit of tyre smoke just off the edge there, though, Moz. And he closes up on the back of Cole Armstrong. Now, is Bonnie going to hold this together?
That is
what a nice chase from Bonnie.
Advantage, Bonnie. So this lower speed stuff might suit his style a little bit, and the car a little bit better, possibly. Matty Russell, come on, mate. Dig deep. Felix and his bag of tricks. Get in there. Pull some out there in the Shockworks, Race Line, Burns, Ward, back to machine.
So strong support coming in for Matty Russell from around Australia, really, isn't it, Moz?
Yeah, indeed. Because everyone loves an underdog, and he's a really champion, funny bloke. And his mates, his bunch of cobbers, I couldn't go through them all, but man, I love listening to them talk to each other.
Cobber's the Australian word for friend, right? That doesn't start with C. That we're not going to say on the live stream.
He probably makes gravy as well.
Australia.
Would he make gravy, Squeak?
Something like that. Squeak, of course, that we refer to as our assistant down here in production, Damien Squeak Rimwood, doing a great job bringing us information live comms with the judges.
Here we go. Matty Russell. This is to be the drift of his life. The JDI. Jake just did it. Back to machine. Into turn 1. Oh, big straight in there from Van Gisbergen. Hold it together. Matty Russell backs it into the clipping point 2. Misses the clip a little bit now. Pushes out wide. Oh, doesn't hit the cone, luckily. Through the final turn. Pushes a little bit wide. Here comes the gears.
That is a professional driver at its finest. Shane Van Gisbergen.
Matty Russell, you mean?
Shane Van Gisbergen. Not Matty Russell. With all due respect to Matty Russell, Shane Van Gisbergen did something we haven't seen anyone else do. Yeah, I told you he practiced for 6 hours last week.
Oh, hang on.
What's going on here?
Hang on, boys.
Oh, okay, Moz. I'm going to jump in the buggy. I'm going to go and see what's going on there with the Mad Mike Whittett car, because that car is up on stands and there's oil coming out. I'm going to jump in the buggy and go and see what's going on there. You're happy to carry things, or we'll head down there?
It's dropping sauce like a Dagwood dog there at the moment. It's an absolute mess. Wow. And that's a turn up for the books. This car hasn't really had a spanner put on it since it landed here, and they hit the track with it on Thursday. But at the moment, whether it's just a cooling line or a power steer line or something like that can be fixed quickly, we'll have to wait and see. On the line, though, the Battle of the Queenslanders, Exceeding Drift Team Accelera. Origin Labo by Corporal Industries back. S15 versus the S15 for me and Botcher Race Parts. GT Radials, tyre right. And of course, both guys have had a lot of success here at the Honeywell Garrett Time Attack International Drift Challenge. Into turn one we go. Both guys pretty consistent at the moment. Botcher sticking with him. He's within a metre or so. That's what the Drift King wanted to see. Lots more angle from Levi Clark in the lead car, but here comes Botcher. Botcher right up there. Botcher doesn't have to do much. He had a good lead run. Lots of angle from Levi Clark. Can he hold it on the island? He's dialing hard, using all 78 degrees of lock there in the front end of that car. And JB comes through the inside and gets the pass done. Now, a lot of you guys out there in Drift Town will be saying you're not allowed to pass in drifting. When they had that briefing today, the Drift King said, would you like me to judge internationally or Australian way? In international rules in a lot of countries, you can pass under drift if the lead car misses the clipping point. The clipping point on the inside of that corner, well, miles away, Levo Clark. Josh Botcher stuck it up on that, and he was allowed to make the move nice and clean. Making his way through into the top 8. Ladies and gentlemen, the GT Radials and Botcher Race Parts #1 driver, Josh Botcher. On the line, Michael Bonney, Cole Armstrong from New Zealand, Bonney out of Victoria. Track art back, C&D Motorworks machine, the top fueler as I like to call it. On the line, just waiting for the go-ahead from the judges. This has been a cracking round so far. We're waiting to see. We're going to throw down to Woz in the pits. He's made it down there at lightning time. Wozza, what's the situation? No, Mike.
Mad Mike's car is up on stands. There is a lot going on. There is oil coming out from under the car, and you can see that Mike is over here. He's looking a little bit pensive. Mikey, give us the inside word here. What is going on here? There are Kiwis from all over the place underneath your car. What's going on?
Yeah, we've unfortunately just smashed the sump on one of the rumble strips and torn it. So I've just dumped all the oil on the ground. Yeah, so engines need oil to run, but look, the guys are doing everything we can. We've got all the Kiwis, like you say, here in support. So yeah, just got to stay calm, and yeah, hope we can only do our best to get the car fixed. But worst case, we'll just run it with no oil.
Mate, what I can tell you is that the weight of New Zealand is behind you at the moment. We've got that many messages of support coming in at the moment saying, go Mad Mike, Rotan Clan hard. I know that the family's up on the bank. Jet is at home, Link's at home, they're cheering you on. I kind of want to let you get back to it, mate. Do what you can to help the crew out, but boys, a lot going on in the pits at the moment.
He's going to need some metal men back there. A bit of metal men might fix that if he's lucky, or put some soap in it. That often works in cracks. Here we go, Michael Bonney, though, out in front of Cole Armstrong in the Evergreen machine. Bonney the C&D Motorworks, that's 15. And at clipping point #2, winded on the lock. Both guys on the lock stops. And Bonney a little bit tighter, following through nice is Cole Armstrong. There's nothing in this at the moment. It's even, 5 and 5. Oh, big straight in the chase there from Cole. That could cost him. And he was pushing wide, had to straighten up and get out of the pedal a little bit as Michael Bonney skipped away. Here we go, replay, K&N Filters replay here at the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. Cole Armstrong lacking a lot of angle there. Now starts to wind it on, though. Both guys with all the angle and a little bit more going through the jump there, if you like. Clipping point #3. And up through the finish line we go. Wow, what a run. That was awesome stuff there from both drivers in these difficult conditions. Right, one of the most anticipated runs of the night. Oh, hang on. I've got a result there from Cole Armstrong and Michael Bonney, booking a spot in the top 8. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bonney! Wow, that's an upset for the books here. I had Cole Armstrong to make it through, so I'm wrong already. Okay, Jake Jones in the RBM3, backed by Yokohama Advan, one of the sweetest built cars I've ever seen, up against Bo Yates in an equally sweetly built A86, being a 2J under the bonnet. Backing from Toyota Technical Parts. Turn 2, but Jake Jones again smashing up those blue carrots underneath the car, the blue ringed octopus out of the wastegate. Both guys on the lock stops now, winding up towards the final turn. Here comes Bo Yates looking to get up the door at Jake Jones. Yates has done a perfect chase run. He's up, he's on the door. Here we go. There's nothing in it. Both guys across the line with pretty well an equal run, I'd say, on that. About a 5-5. Wait for the K&N Action replay. See what you reckon about it. Meanwhile, I have a result from Shane Van Gisbergen versus Matt Russell. Booking a spot in the top 8. Driving the MCA 370, Shane Van Gisbergen. Getting the JOB done. Wow. And of course, the MCA have had a massive weekend. Once again, lowering the lap record here for pro class at the Yokohama World Time Attack with a 21.9 from memory, 21.9. And of course, if SVG can bring it home here for the team in the drifting too, wow, I don't reckon they'll be getting back to Queensland in a very healthy position tomorrow.
Sorry, Moz, I'm just catching my breath after doing the frantic run down there to catch up with Mike Whittett. I don't know if you heard the emotion in his voice there, Mike, but sorry, Moz, but he is feeling the pressure at the moment, and he's on edge. Is the fairest way to put talking to Mike at the moment. As we see Matty Russell, Michael Prosnick out on track.
No, sorry,
Russell.
Luke Fink.
Oh, it's Fink, sorry. His finger, sort of looking at the colour scheme. They're not that dissimilar, are they?
No, the base colours.
Fink tries to overtake to the inside there, puts a wheel off the inside there.
Oh,
Fink tattooing the door.
Door tats. Yeah, he's showing the sharker out for the fans as well. Luke Fink is enjoying himself tonight in this car. Only a matter of 2 hours ago was going nowhere. They threw their hands in the air and said, nah, I'm not going to put the head back on. The crew, which I'm going to shout out to once again, massive job, and they got the JOB done. And Fink out there, the conditions have turned his way, and the track coming to him as well. So, you know, you can never count your chickens before they hatch, but Fink has done better than we expected already. And especially with those dramas in the mechanical department there in the Ultimate Subaru Spares Cartel Online Kumo Tyres back machine.
Takashi Teruya on screen there, Hamilton's favourite mobile mechanic. Hello to Tux's family at home. Tux is a regular translator, part of the Sky Zhao Drift Motorsport team who run Drift Academy International. As we see the K&N replay of Luke Fink. Now watch this, Moz. Goes to the inside, decides, oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just tattoo this elephant here. That seems like a good target.
You see him pushing the wheel.
And while I'm at it, I'll chuck my hand out the window and see if I can grab Pros's rear windscreen wiper.
He was like he was patting a big puppy dog, wasn't he? Just running his hands across the top of the steering. Good puppy, good puppy. Okay, back in the second part of this battle. It's going to be a cracker.
Now, what did I miss from the first one, Moz? Because I was on the way back.
Not much, fairly even all the way through. Both guys holding their head pretty high after the run, and those Roadie 4 wheels are awesome there on that machine there at Bo Yates. And Jake Jones, well, Jake Jones with the advance are probably a little bit stickier than the Achilles. I'm just going to throw it out there because Yokohama are using a fairly sticky tyre. Okay, Jake Jones, big throw. Can he hold it up from here? Start to skip away. Slightly is Bo Yates to the Toyota Genuine Parts 86. Big straight from Bo Yates. So in clipping point number 2, pushing out wide now to the cones. Oh, Jake Jones, that could be enough to throw it away. The surgeon out in front makes some clinical incisions.
Captain Clinical, Bo Yates. He was so frustrated last night, Moz, when he made that mistake on the second run. He was hoping to #1 qualify again here at World Time Attack, and he was unhappy with himself when he made that mistake. But Captain Clinical back at it again, and there is that Red Bull helmet, that familiar look from Shane Van Gisbergen, and he's got to be loving this, Moz.
Yeah, he's
rubbing his hands together, looking at the rain, and just thinking, well, this is my party. You're going to spoil it? Come through me. Call is officially made. What do you got there, Moz?
Booking a spot in the top 8 there officially. The battle between Jones and Yates is Bo the Show Yates.
Now, have we had a... What was the Matty Russell, Shane Van Gisbergen call there, Moz?
SVG got me doing that one. He did indeed. Here we go with the second part of the battle between Fink and Pros. Pros going is one of the favourites here. Fink is a dark horse. And we go into turn number 2. There's nothing between them. Pros do exactly what the judges want to see, and getting up on the back bar there of Fink's little Toyota. Right wide, pushing towards the cones. Here comes Pros, though. Pros with a lock-on, powered out of the Duo Motorsport built big. The engine under the bonnet. Fink, there's nothing in this. There's nothing. What do you call there?
0-0. Fink's got the hand out the window, but Fink's down on power. And remember, Moz, that we did have the judges say to score points, you need to be within a metre proximity-wise. So the K&N action replay will show you here. Pros was close.
He was, and how many seconds you're away from a metre also
yeah, but he wasn't as close as Fink was. Fink was able to just generate that little bit more proximity there. So will that be enough to get the job done for Luke Fink as he throws the hand out the window again? Who'd want to be a judge, Moz? We might even go to the judges if possible to get some clarification on this one while we take in some more pit colour. I don't know if the boys have got ears on up there. Toshi and Toshi Denzo in the DK up there on the bank. hopefully you guys can still hear us up there, and hopefully the people who are still up there, those hardy souls, Moz, are still enjoying the show there.
Given there's not a great deal of people left up there.
Possibly not. Only the really hardy souls who've probably had a few too many. What are your premix bourbons over here? Are they Woodstocks or something like that?
Oh, Jack's bourbons, beans, whatever you want to call them. I'm not really sure. I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. But Jake Jones, unfortunately, being bundled out there by the Bo Yates.
You don't drink and you don't fish either.
No. Don't tell lies either.
Just be careful, because I don't want you and your nose extending, poking the window out of that 767 out there.
Poke your eye clean out of your head.
Hey, tell me, Moz, what was the call for JB and Levi Clark?
Getting through there was... Botcher. Botcher getting through. Josh Botcher. Yeah, Levi with a couple of dramas of the chase.
And the Cole Armstrong, Michael Bonney.
Okay, booking a spot in the top 8 between Fink and Prosnick. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Fink gets through.
Fink takes out Prosnick.
Wow, the little Ultimate Subaru Spares cartel online.
What are those? Those are, that's the New Zealand, so we call that Lion Red back home in New Zealand. Carlton Drafts. Hello, boys. Having a good time up there?
We call them maroon soldiers in Australia.
No, keep that away from him. Don't give that to him. Get away. There are laws against giving children that young Bruce.
Bruce.
Spears. What are they called, Moss?
You put them in chili bins. We call them eskies.
Oh, hello, boys. We're still down here. We're still dry. We don't know where our judges have gone. We can't throw to you guys. A lot of requests coming in for Moz to dance. Unfortunately, for health and safety reasons, we're not going to allow it. We don't want the live stream crashing due to the volume of people tuned in to see Moz dance. As we see, some hardy souls are still up there, Moz, still enjoying the action here at the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge for 2017. The Brad Tui machine parked up alongside the Andy Worth car.
Can't dance, but I could do a wicked horizontal foxtrot.
Let's not see that. Van Gisbergen.
You're a volunteer.
Van Gisbergen doesn't care about the conditions. He's ready to go. SVG and JB ready to go. This is for a spot in the top 8. So I had money on Van Gisbergen being in the top 4. Now, did I hear something before? Is there an issue potentially with Rob Whitecard? Did that come over the radio before, maybe?
Not that I saw, no. Okay, SVG up against Josh Botcher. 2 Queensland cars, 1 New Zealand driver, 1 Australian driver. Oh, this is tight. SVG getting right up there on Josh Botcher in the GT radials. Ian Botcher race parts. It's 15. Oh, this is tight. This is one of the tightest runs we've seen, was.
Yeah, Van Gisbergen just holds it nice and straight there, but there were no mistakes out front from JB.
Botcher straightened. He straightened a little bit through there.
A little mistake there. Van Gisbergen not holding monster angle there, but just nice and consistent, good flowing run there from Shane Van Gisbergen.
Just watch the replay. As they switch from one camera to the other, Botcher may have just had a small little bubble there. Just wait for this here. Through here's all nice and clean. It's even. It's 5 and 5 now. Just watch just.
Where's it go?
Hang on, next camera shot. Just here.
And the replay cuts it out, Miles. We didn't get to see it.
I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I want JB to get on through as well. And back on the start line, one of the world favourites, the world champion, if you like.
Moz, what's a chopper?
A chopper.
Chopper.
There's a bloke called Chopper.
Apparently, the Kiwis reckon you sound like Chopper.
Chopper Reed.
Yeah.
Really? But I've got both ears, haven't I? Yeah, I've got both ears.
I hope so.
Not Van Gogh. Chopper was one of the, I suppose you'd say, colourful characters of Australianism. I think he actually passed away not too long ago, unfortunately. He lived in Tasmania for quite a while too, which is uncanny, out there at Richmond. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go drifting. Diego Sato, Monster Energy, Sunico backed, Kia Formula on the side there too, and Wanley tyres.
I'm going to assume, because I can see Bonnie on screen, did he put Cole Armstrong on the trailer after that one more time?
He certainly did.
On slide, one of the ones we picked as a dark horse, Moz, and he's on the cusp here of the top 4.
As soon as it rained.
Diego Saito, so...
he switched as soon as it rained, Michael Bonnie.
Well, maybe it took some of the power out of the car.
Possibly.
And he had to drive it a different way, so he couldn't get super aggressive, but... Daigo Saito.
Pitches a front there.
Yeah, pinched it and went straight ahead there, so that's going to be advantage Bonnie here if he can hold it.
Oh, straight from Bonnie.
Don't get too eager. Don't get too eager there, Michael. Camera shot gets a little bit fuzzy on us, but
it's a little bit scrappy.
We might have not seen something there maybe that the judges would have seen, Moss.
The judge is still with us, so they haven't.
Yeah, no,
they have
a
third course now. Denzo's not happy unless it's a 4-course meal.
Hello to Paul Day watching in Christchurch. Paul Day from the Nico Reed Drift team. Hello to Paul. Hello to Brent Lucas, tuned in Perth as well. The beanbag.
Yeah. Shout out to Timmy Jardine as well, and one of the cooler cats back there in Tassie. And yeah, we had to tell you what, it's been a pretty epic sort of top 16 here, man. What would have been in the dry, I think, it would have been a totally different thing in the dry.
Completely different, Moz. We've still got some of the names we thought we were going to see in as far as the top 8, but definitely Widdett versus White I sort of saw happening, but I didn't expect to see Daigo versus Bonnie. SVG JB probably reasonably predictable, and Yates and Fink is going to be spectacular, Moz, because I reckon they know each other quite well.
Yeah, you're dead right.
JB to the inside there of Van Gisbergen, putting the pressure on. Where is JB going to pull it up? Is he going to be able to pull it up?
Wow, I don't know what you say there.
Well, that's the most committed version of that entry that we've seen. So, oh, Botch to the inside again.
Comeback kid. The comeback kid comes back a bit straight there from SVG as well. Look, he's not winding it on. And that's going to end up about a 5-5, I guess.
Yeah, well, look, you got to think there that based on the judges' criteria, as we see, there's Colin and Daryl on the screen, Cole Armstrong and Daryl Kelly, two of our favourite giraffes, two Kiwi larrikins. There's about 13 feet of human being in that shot just at the moment there,
13 foot of human. Shout out to Molly Taylor down there, of course, Australia's first female and current Australian rally champion, Molly Taylor. And they're having to watch as well. Matthew Chung and the Vic Drift boys, Kieran Gay down there in Tassie, and
Darren Pitfield. Look at Haley Kelly's trying to repair Darren's mirror. He's knocked it off.
Or do you think knock it off? He's knocking off.
No, hang on. No, Haley's fixing her makeup in the mirror. What are you up to there, Haley? Just checking everything's in place. Looks like a smashed iPhone screen to me.
As long as it's a smashed crab, then we're laughing. Okay, here we go. Michael Bonnie and Daigo Saito once again. This is part 2 of the battle. And I'll tell you what, it is really starting to come down to a big one. We have a rerun between SVG and Josh Botcher. One more time. Epic, epic stuff indeed. Here we go, Saito. Up against Bonnie. Not much so far.
See what comes of this one. Saito.
He dive bombed him.
He's got so much grip.
The
rain's coming down and you can see it just heavy through that shot again. Just when the light hits it, you can see it just starting to come down again. You can see that's definitely getting greasier up there again.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Josh Cannon up in the hill there. Shout out to Shani Russell. And Jared Klingberg. We'll have Klingberg here this weekend. That little Corolla of his. I love the Corolla wagon. Hopefully he's rebuilding that, getting back out there again. As Michael Bonnie replay here in the K&N Filters replay. Massive shout out to Honeywell Garrett for getting aboard the Drift Challenge this year. It's been Tectaloy for many years, but Honeywell Garrett and their awesome products.
I want to send a shout out to Ian Baker and Renato Liberto up on the hill, Linda Long and the team as well.
Inga will be there.
Yeah, Inga and Georgie have all been working.
Steve-O,
tall guys. Just working so hard all weekend. They now get to enjoy a relaxing cold lemonade or two. We have a call there, do we, Moz? Who goes through the top 4?
Saito and Bonnie, and booking a spot in the top 4. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Japan, Daigo Saito.
So one of my predictions has come true so far, Moz. I've got one in the top 4. One in the top 4 so far. JB, is he going to spoil my party for me? You getting some fan mail, Moz?
We've got a few shout-outs now. I have to do a request, though, because I've got fans like you. You're a popular man.
No, they're not.
Mr. Grumpy Ninja.
They just want me to stay in Australia.
I'll take you home.
Yeah, take me home to
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
Teach you the horizontal foxtrot.
I'm not sure if you're propositioning me, Moss. We haven't had enough lemonades for that to be the case yet. We do have a good time, though. The Moz and Watch show, we put this on most years and we enjoy ourselves here. We have a bit of fun. Shout out to the Team Jenkins crew sitting and watching, Troy, Ben and the crew working at home on the cars for the Waimate 50 next weekend. Hello to Fang and Dan as well and Nicole. And happy birthday to Cade.
The what?
The Waimate 50, Moss. It's in the South Island of New Zealand where Filthy Phil Sutherland is from. And I believe, I heard a rumour that Phil was spotted coming through the airport by paparazzi, but it has yet to be confirmed. Him and his bodyguard, Mitch Gibbs, apparently were spotted in Sydney potentially, but that is unconfirmed rumours at this point in time. Shane Van Gisbergen, JB put that big entry on Van Gisbergen before. Different camera angle there for us, Moz. It's a long time on camera number 1.
I think we've lost a camera.
Oh, yeah, we lost one. One's gone down there, so... we'll have to rely on the judges for this one, but Moz, I can see the Van Gisbergen car tucked right up
exactly
underneath JB.
bang on there. And he's listened and he's worked well. And SVG, that's why he is the superstar that he is, though. He listens, he learns, and he moves forward all the time. And full credit to him. There's a solid initiation from him, and carried it there. Yeah. So anyway, I guess at the moment up the hill there's a little bit moist still. And, I don't know if that tower there, in up there, the box, if you like.
Still a lot of activity there.
Waterproof.
So he said sump, right? You can't duct tape up a sump, can you?
No, but I'll tell you a little trick that if you ever get a hole in a fuel tank or a sump, a cake of soap wedged in there, the oil doesn't have an effect on it, and it can be enough to patch it up and get you home.
Somebody told me that you can do the same thing to a radiator with a hole in it by dropping an egg into it.
I heard that. I've got a mechanic here with me. Kutz, can you do that?
He's
Sceptical?
Yeah, he's sceptical.
Plausible?
He doesn't trust us.
Eggs?
We're not really an episode of Mythbusters.
I don't know if eggs are good for anything much apart from putting in radiators in if they work or not.
There's a lot of kitty litter underneath that car boss at the moment. Somebody's getting a bill for some buckets.
And of course the water sits under, they all sit on top of the water, so it'll run off into other people's pits and get on their shoes when they get into drive. And
haven't we had a great weekend though, Moz? I mean, for the first time we had the Drifters autograph session, we had 15 of them turn up on time. In fact,
weird.
some of them were even early.
Only one person was late to driver's briefing because he was off getting a battery from Penrith or somewhere.
Still some hardy fans up there on the bank. Hello, sir. Good on you. There you go, guys. You're on TV. Yep.
You know what happened?
He's turned his head. He suddenly realised he's on TV. Hello. Yeah, he's still there. Having a good time. Hardy Drift fans. Those are the best kind. Hopefully you hang around for the podium, which I believe are going to do down in the pits area, just because it's
where are we doing
closest to the team. I think we'll probably do it to camera down in the pits there, Moz. So
where
we are going to we're down in the pits down there.
What do you say, pits again?
Pits. Six.
Mentioned eggs. Denzo's hungry again.
We haven't heard from the judges. We think they're still alive.
Okay, down into turn number one we go. Bo Yates leading out of Luke Fink. These guys have been up door on door many occasions and many different bits of machinery too. But of course, Fink there on song at the moment. That low horsepower, little 86 now, little Subaru's best. Cartel online, Toyota, Kumo tyres, back machine, up on the door, but can't hold it.
Oh, it's gone off. Has it gone?
The fire has gone out.
It's dead. It's gone. The hands out the window. Luke Fink, we knew he was on borrowed time, and Luke Fink was putting on the show for us. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Luke Fink. What an outstanding effort. We could actually hear you down here. Fink is a cult hero.
Do the worm.
There we go.
Drop down and do the worm.
Now we might see some dancing.
Come on, do the worm, Luke.
Dance.
Come on, dance a jig.
Luke.
Do that. Do something. Come on.
Get him to do a dance. Someone yell at him. Tell him to do a dance. Dance.
Oh, no, he's trying to moon.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's illegal.
This is a PG show.
He's got a parachute off or something there. I'm not quite sure. He's into a balloon a bit or something.
Luke Fink, what a job, ladies and gentlemen. He's got his helmet off. Put your hands together for Luke Fink now, ladies and gentlemen. What an effort for Luke Fink.
That was a giant killing effort in a car put together by his mates while he was away in Europe racing. A cracker little car, I tell you what. It will now be a cult car. Throw the gloves to the crowd.
Put your hands up. Who wants Luke Fink's gloves?
Who's going to yell loud enough?
Yell. Tell Luke where to throw them.
Come on, make some noise.
Is he going to have a heart attack?
No, we're going to need a defibrillator.
Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest, run.
Going to need a defibrillator.
Luke Fink, ladies and gentlemen, show the man some appreciation. Who wants his gloves?
It's like throwing the garter at a wedding, isn't it?
Which way? Where are they going? Don't fall off there. Don't fall off.
Whoa, he's gone
deep.
There they go. Going super deep. Oh, screamer from the back there, up over the top mark of the century.
So, on behalf of World Time Attack, there is a health and safety warning here that we should not throw things into the crowd.
Is that?
Yeah, something like that.
I was thinking it was a shoe or a sock.
I'm only saying that because the last time I threw something, it was a can of brake clean.
Oh.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea, but never mind.
So you know the rule, obviously.
Well, okay, Moz, there's a lot of activity still going on with the Mad Mike car. We know that the sump has been damaged there. It was basically torn off the car, so the team are doing everything they can to try and get that car back out. The New Zealand Hope, basically he and SVG, the sole recipients of the land of the long white tyre smoke cloud, who are still in competition here. They've moved it forward, maybe just trying to get it out of the oil that's going all over the ground there. Mozzie's disappeared outside, but I'm not sure if he's going to go. We're going to go to a brief commercial message, ladies and gentlemen.
I practiced on Gran Turismo my whole life. and then I got the chance to race for real. I went from an Aussie post driver to GT Academy, then to professional racing. My dream has come true. That is why I'm so excited for GT Sport. Dynamic 4K HDR visuals and PlayStation VR is the closest you can get to being in the race. Except, you know, actually racing. The world's greatest racing game is back. GT Sport, only on PlayStation 4, for the players.
Today only comes once. Here's to those who take that as a threat and crush it. Phoenix 5 from Garmin.
It's on in New South Wales. Kennard Tyre Rally Australia. Let everyone know that it's Supercars Co-Tyre Newcastle 500. Liquid Molly Bathurst 12 Hour. And Southern 80. To find out more, go to visitnsw.com.
We know you have the need for speed. Let Motorsport's TV app feed your addiction and fuel your passion. Monster crashes, live coverage, TV episodes and news. Don't get left behind. Strap yourself in for one hell of a ride.
What we have here is the Volkswagen Amarok V6 Turbo Diesel. This is the base car that you'll see the Modern Apprentice program work on and will be revealed at the World Time Attack.
So the idea behind this concept was pretty simple. We wanted to give our top-tier apprentices the opportunity to do something that they wouldn't normally do in their day-to-day. Obviously, there's not a lot left of the original Amarok, but before we build it up, we have to tear the thing down.
Volkswagen.
Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with the K&N High Flow Air Filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell.
PS4 for the players.
It's on in New South Wales. Kennard Tyre Rally Australia. Let everyone know that it's Supercars Co-Tyre Newcastle 500. Liquid Molly Bathurst 12 Hour. And Southern 80. To find out more.
Back on track. Back on track, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Van Gisbergen ready to go up against JB Josh Botcher, the GT Radials entry. Van Gisbergen, Moz, he is looking real dangerous in this wet weather.
Too right, we're deep into the top four now as well. So it is business time, there's no doubt about it. SVG on song, it's at the moment. Oh, Botcher looks to the inside, gets a good run up the inside, holding the angle, but
JB, a carbon copy repeat of what he did before, Moz. He just tucked up the inside there. He is putting the pressure on Van Gisbergen, letting him know that he is right there. Good run here coming from Josh Botcher. Botcher tucks it right in there, puts the pressure on. Nice job there for both. Oh, Van Gisbergen! Well, he's gone right out to the edge and he's cleaned out a cone. How will the judges view that one? That is definitely a wheel off the track there as we see Luke Fink back into the pits there. Luke Fink's called 5 minutes, has he?
Yeah.
Fink's called 5 minutes.
His gloves back?
Well, so Luke Fink's actually going to need those driving gloves back because he can't compete in a battle without them, Moss. So if you've got Luke Fink's gloves, or hopefully someone's going to be nice to Luke down there in the pits, going to return the gloves to him, as we see on the K&N replay. JB putting the pressure on. Moss, watch this. Out. Oh, now that's a wheel on the yellow line there, so they were allowed to go out towards
hit the
cone.
cone.
They weren't supposed to hit it.
Oh, that could be expensive.
Now let's see what happens here as far as activity on the Luke Fink car.
Well, the fire didn't go out. Oh, it has gone out now, but...
Well, they're going to have enough time to be able to do anything with it. So, all right, Toshi up there on the hill. You've got your ears back. Toshi, the judges, are you still alive up there?
Yes, we are, and I'm glad that the system is working right now. We're just plowing through the car, so I apologize. We're not getting as many comments on the live PA as we want. 今はどう思ってますか？
プッシングはあったけど、最終コーナーでインに入ってる時間が長かったので五分です。
So as far as Tsuchiya is concerned on that particular, on his particular score, even though the rear car, the chase car was pushing a little bit, he was on the inside for a long amount of time going through the last bank, so he called it even. So we'll let our scores, we already turned them in on us, so.
Poke Denzo on the side of the head and see if he's still awake. Is Denzo all right? Is Denzo okay, Toshi?
Captain Kransky, you're there. Denzo,
are you okay, Denzo?
Let's hear something. What do you got?
Yeah, mate.
What did you reckon about that? Who did you rate through that one?
Oh, look, Van Gisberg was definitely much cleaner, and JB had a few squiggly lines happening, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for sure, it was Van Gisberg for me.
No junk call, nothing like that?
Hey?
How did you give us that was junk or someone was...
No, I don't, mate. Everyone's good. They just
You've changed.
aren't as good as one of the other drivers. So no one's junk. The only person that's junk is you.
I think, am I right in thinking Denzo's softened since he's entered his 50s?
You got a lot of junk in your trunk.
So maybe we can ask Tsuchiya-san about how everybody's participating in the rain, because I know like SVG, Shane, those guys, he hasn't been, it's like his first professional event, right? I mean, he's doing really well in the rain. A lot of the Japanese drivers are used to running in four-season conditions. オーストラリアで今回雨の中にコンペティションになっちゃったんですけど、その変更についてどう思いますか？
いや、雨の方が腕の差が出る。
So definitely in the rain, these rainy conditions bring out more necessity for driver skill.
ドライだとやっぱり車がメリットあるんだけど、雨になるとドライバーの腕だね。
Under dry conditions, obviously the car performance will carry a lot of the weight for you, but when we switch to the rain, as you guys saw, underpowered cars gain a big advantage, and it's really up to the driver's skill to control. So we saw a big shift in direction of performance from the cars once it started raining, and so that's something that we were talking about up here too.
Can I get a rating off the judges there on the 5-minute rule called by Luke Fink? Sorry, Luke Fink took 5 minutes there now, so he might be back after a little dance in the middle of the track there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's called 5 minutes, so maybe not he can fix, but problem is he's got a fair disadvantage at the moment. So, but anyway, if he can fix it and get back out, that's good.
Diplomatic Denzo.
Yeah, it's a nice touch there from Denzo. Just everyone's equal. Everyone's. There we go. What do we got here? We've got Michael Bond from the Team DSR crew helping out the Luke Fink team. There's Dave Stedman, not actually being much use for anything. Dave just standing around. Apparently that's mostly what he does at the workshop with the cars as well, according to the boys, Scully and the team.
2 minutes 40 on the clock, and we've got 40 minutes to run here at the Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't really want to head down there, Moz, and just get in the way as far as what's going on there. And what I'm curious about is I wonder if we can get that camera around to see if the Mad Mike car actually rolled out of the pits. That's I guess the big question for most of the New Zealand fans who are still tuned in on the live stream. Are we going to see Mad Mike again? Because he and SVG, the sole representatives of New Zealand, still in the field. Still a lot of Aussies, and of course that Monster Energy car of Daigo Saito, Moz, is still in the field. What's going on there, Moz? The best thing about live streams is the social media interaction, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a big part of it, actually. And I've seen Luke Fink back in the car with the gloves on, I gather, and it looks like it's game on, ladies and gentlemen. He's done
Mike's
the 5
back.
minutes.
Mad Mike is back.
Wow. Okay.
Kiwi fans rejoice.
Has he kept the oil in the sump?
Well, Moz, this is some bravery from Mad Mike Whittett because, look, you've got a mechanic sitting over here. We'll get a show of fingers. How many tens of thousands of dollars is a competition triple rotor turbo motor likely to be worth? Like north of 20 maybe? Would it 20 to 30k maybe for something like that? So wow. Mad Mike is brave being out there, and let's hope it holds together for him because he really, I think, feels like it's his year, Moz, and he will go all out here to try and reward his crew. So
we're up to the top four. The two people have booked their spot in the top four. The first one was Dago Sato. Second one was SVG. So we're at the back of the top 8, heading into the top 4. 2 spots left. Yates and Fink, and Mad Mike and Rob White on the line.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for a Mad Mike win here, and that'll put me. That'll actually mean that I was right as far as the left-hand side of the tree there, Moz. So, Mad Mike, is he going to hold it? But Robbie White just about makes contact there with the Mad Mike. Rob White going with him. Mad Mike is on a shallower line than he was before he gets out there now, Moz. You see the sparks every time he goes over the hill there, but here comes Rob with that V8 torque. He just closes up nicely into the back of the Mad Mike car and goes with Rob passes him on the inside.
Was he under drift at the time? I'm not sure he was actually lock on.
Judges, have you got some ears there, judges? As we go to the replay there, what are the judges' thoughts there on the pass? That's the second time we've seen it there. Denzo Toshi, can you give us a clarification on that one? Are you able to hear us?
Doesn't sound like it.
Denzo Toshi? No?
Reports from the great squeak Mad Mike is still dropping a little bit of oil.
Surely the car.
So right now, both cars had corrections in various spots, but coming around the big sweep, the rear car was in for a longer amount of time, so that's why they get the advantage.
Okay, it's a 10-0 at the moment, advantage to Bo Yates going into this battle with Luke Fink. And, Fink's got to hope from a mistake from Bo Yates. I've seen one in about 10 years, and that was yesterday afternoon in qualifying, but he threw it to the wall because he banked a good run. And Bo Yates, Toyota Genuine Parts, Komatsu, Achilles back there with Hypertune doing the work on the car. And it's a smick bit of gear. Rotiform wheels are super cool on it as well. And I guess, the underdog, the giant killer Luke Fink at the moment, there in that little 86, had some dramas. The lights went out. Might have just been a battery lead fell off or something silly, but he got it back in and borrowed some gloves, I gather. And we're back underway.
Yeah, let's say that he's borrowed some gloves, Moz. We're 100% confident of that because we wouldn't allow somebody to drive without gloves on.
Shockworks also backing Luke Fink this weekend there.
Do we think is it a little bit drier than it was? I don't know. Is it still raining hard up the top there?
It has backed off a frack, I'd say, looking down through the pits at the moment. But, it's going to be a wet track for the rest. We've got 40 minutes to run here before we lose the live feed. So let's get it underway.
Going to send a shout-out to my cousin, Anthony Wong. Anthony Wong from Winner Winner in Hamilton, 439 Grey Street, the place to go for a feed. Wong's working his magic behind the grill there with Chef Luke Horton. So Winner Winner, 439 Grey Street in Hamilton is the place to go for a feed if you're out and about. And Hamilton, you got a Hamilton Aussie too, don't you, Moz?
We certainly do have a Hamilton Tassie as well down there in Luke Fink. He's away slightly here, so Bo's going to have to push hard to get back up on the door. Fink with a lot of pace on, gets out wide, but here he comes. Bo Yates, big straight.
Bo Yates! Yatesy! Yates!
Oh, you're joking.
No, we're going one more time, Moz. It's 10-0-0-10. We're going one more time.
I'm going to need the defibrillator myself now.
Oh, Yates, he's got to be frustrated.
I'm goosebumping up.
Did you see that look of disgust on Bo Yates' face?
Man.
Look at here's the K&N replay. Bo Yates. See, I thought Bo was playing it safe. I thought he was just sitting back.
That's what I thought. He's in trouble. He needs to push now, and when he pushes, just here you see.
Well, he knew it was a 10-0, right? So I assume Bo runs comms, right? So it bit again. It bit up again and just over-rotated on him.
Twice. He nearly had it twice. He had 2 goes at trying to save it. Meanwhile, throwing the Sharkers out front, there's Luke Fink.
Well, the good news, right, is that they don't have to change tyres in the wet.
That's very true.
So they should be able to come straight back around. So Darren Kelly there, you can see him along with Andrew from Cole Armstrong's crew trying to help out the Mad Mike Whittett team. Toshi, what's going on up there on the hill, my friend? We're into the business end of competition. Toshi? Hello, Toshi. We're into the business end of competition. DK, is he still enjoying himself up there? Have we had the suizo that he asked for? Have we had
echoing so much. One more time.
Have we had the suizo that DK wanted to see? Are we getting the proximity that he was asking for?
今回追走を見に来たと思うんですけど、その自分が求めてたその距離感とか出てきてますか？
うまいドライバーは1コーナーでノーズ入れて2コーナーまでに引いて2コーナーでまた入れてで最終コーナーでまたノーズ入れていくっていう3パターンができるドライバーがいる。
So he's seeing drivers that are capable of when they're coming into corner one, the chase car tucks the nose in, then they turn the corner, he slowly pulls back, and then right as they're coming into the main second corner, he pushes the nose back in, and they follow each other all the way around. So he's seeing drivers with high skill that are capable of that kind of 追走。今回じゃあ自分が求めた距離は距離感はありますか？
距離はね、1メーターぐらいのドライバーが何人かいますよ。
So we went over this during the drivers' meeting too. Proximity of about 1 meter between two cars, and there were many instances where the drivers were able to keep that distance all the way through, despite the wet conditions.
So overall, Toshi, the DK is impressed with the level of skill being displayed.
じゃあトータル的に土屋さんが求めているそのレベルはここで発揮されてますか？
そうだね。昨日言ったことが今日できてるからね、2コーナーで。
So yes, he believes so. Everything that we had discussed after yesterday, and we went over in the drivers' meeting today, all the drivers are able to produce that new result. So he's very satisfied with that.
Right, so basically, you're saying that for the first time ever, drifters were actually on time and listened today.
Yeah, I'm a bit shocked myself.
Maybe it's him. Maybe.
So Ian Baker has once again pulled off a world first. Drifters on time and listening.
That's gold. It's gold. Okay, now what's going on here? We've got
this
the
is the one more time
Here we
for
go, righto.
Bo and Luke. So we certainly didn't. Oh, I think we've got some issues here. Maybe with the Yates car. He's just lost a light.
Fink's lost a light. Now, whether that's involved with restarting the car and popping a fuse or just blowing globe. He doesn't look stressed in the cab, so...
Does Luke ever look stressed?
Oh, yeah, I've seen him stressed, dude.
Yeah, we'd know about it, right?
Oh, yeah, you would.
I reckon we might see him tattoo the door.
I know he'd like to do that. He's one man that likes to actually get that close. He can reach out and undo the tyre valve caps on the car beside him as they're going around.
Yeah, there's a couple of other guys that are pretty well known for that too in the Aussie drifting scene, aren't there, Moz? Just been told by Luke's team that a brand new pair of Lux Performance gloves were chucked on by Luke Fink before heading out. Apparently had a spare pair in the pits, courtesy of Lux. So well done to them for getting behind Luke Fink. I'm not sure if that's the signature skeleton ones. Have you seen those guys?
I think it meant Lux as in soap or something.
No, I think that's the only way you or I would ever look like a skeleton, right?
Yeah, me especially, yes.
Diet challenged.
Indeed. Solid salad dodger. Okay, you see the Toyota Genuine Parts car on the screen there now. Rotiform wheels, GCG turbos, MCA suspension underneath it there as well. And Bo Yates, he doesn't make mistakes. I've seen two, and I'm starting now to worry about saying he's so perfect. But, it's the first time his daughter's ever been to see him race too, I believe, wouldn't it?
I don't know that you're actually pulling out that card, Moz, and claiming that his daughter might be a jinx.
No, I'm saying she's come along. He might be putting the pressure on her.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Come on, Dad, expecting big things. I heard in the womb that you're pretty good.
Wonderful little girl of the Yateses, Bo and Beck.
Gorgeous, yeah, bless a little heart. And the Hypertune backing. Now, Hypertune are responsible for basically what you can't see on that car. That's under the bonnet and some good bits they produce. So big shout out to the Hypertune crew there. Achilles Radials once again behind Bo Yates. And just waiting on the line now. I'm not quite sure what the hold-up is. Peter, the Drifter Monkey.
Well, okay, so the judges are taking a look at the replay of the Mad Mike Widdett and Rob White runs. So judges wanting to make sure that they get the right call here as we go to the K&N replay with Mad Mike on the lead, Robbie White on the chase there. And it does look like conditions have improved slightly there, Moz.
Yeah,
so did White tuck up the inside there again?
He did. He had a bit of a look. There's a small straight in there between 1 and 2. And now we go through. It's pretty even from here. Rob White looks to get up on the door as we come out through the back end of the course. And looks to get that move on Mad Mike. Mike with a small straight. There's a touch there, a little rub, a little bit of a tap going on. And pushing out wide. But
so did he tap him and push him wide and then has gone up the inside? Is that what the judges are looking at there? All the rain's coming down again, Moz.
Yeah, that's right. Keeps the.
I feel like it's favouring the Fink machine with the slightly lower horsepower. So Mike is going back out again. So this is good.
Yeah,
he's still in the fight.
The old sawtooth roof curbing got the best of the sump there a couple of runs ago, but the boys back in the pit, shout out to them. They've done a good job lying down that hot oil and trying to patch up a crack in the sump.
You can't do anything, and people don't appreciate just how valuable the pit crews are. It is so hard to find a good team to have behind you with all the right skills, and those guys, they don't see the battles. They stay down here in the pit area. They work tirelessly on the cars while the drivers go and sign autographs and various other bits and pieces. So a shout out to all the crews, the hard-working crews down in the pits as well. Hopefully you guys are able to have a bit of a relax now.
Monkey Pete lets them roll, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 2 of this. It's a one more time. Bo Yates leading out. Luke Fink on the inside. Look to get up on the door nice and early.
Yeah, Fink goes to the inside early to stay with Bo Yates as a gunner. Now, when he does that, is he shutting down the line for Bo Yates at all? Is that
hard to tell? I don't reckon Bo really knows there too much. If you look at the next apex at the time, here comes Fink once again looking up the door here at Bo Yates to go through the final turn, push up towards that outside clipping point now. Fink dropping off slowly, can't get up the door. Bo Yates, a big straighten from Yates. That could be enough though. Oh, I'd like to see the replay from another camera. What the judges saw. Any chance of the judges giving us a quick hoo-ha on that one?
Have a look at the K&N action replay. The judges will, I think, be deliberating probably and having a look at this, Mons. Wait to see what happens there as Fink goes to the inside. He closes right up there, but then Bo Yates is able to get on the gas. Just drive away slightly here as they go up into turn number 18.
Watch the front wheels of Bo Yates' car here. Still angle on,
There is still angle on.
I think he's right.
I think with the conditions the way they are, I think the judges maybe will be a little bit forgiving of the drivers trying not to send themselves flying off the edge of the track.
Yeah, right. We haven't actually seen anyone fire off the track.
We haven't. And if one happens now, it's going to be completely your fault.
Oh, mate, the talent pool's overflowing here, though, isn't it? We've got the best of the best. New Zealand, Australia, and there's still a few that come, of course. The best of Japan we got here. Cracking show on for you, ladies and gentlemen, as we wind it down now.
Van Gisbergen and Saito already into the top 4. We're waiting for the result of the Whitt battle, and then Luke Fink and Bo Yates will need to come back around again with Fink to lead and Yates to chase. Whitt doesn't seem to be suffering. Oh! I was going to say he didn't seem to be suffering there, but then he fell right back there on Rob White's car. That car is obviously not going to be that healthy, Moz.
Smoke on.
I wonder if he's trying to nurse it.
I don't know, he pushed wide there. That was going to cost him slightly. But Mad Mike's not getting up on the door at all. He's further back. And Rob White getting away with those tyres working well. I believe the KDH brake pads as well. But Rob White and the Monster Energy Machine, that was a pretty strong run.
Did he keep that going? We didn't actually see Mad White drive out of the shot there. I wonder if he got right out of it there. I wonder if the oil pressure light maybe came on there or dropped away there. Wait for the call there. Rob White gets the call. Rob White goes through to the top 4. Rob White to the top 4.
One for me.
One for you. You did pick that one out.
Rob White. Well done, Rob. Of course, he's been a superstar
Jill
here.
Monsters. Monster versus Monster. White versus Saito.
Indeed we have. And we're still waiting to see who will go up against SVG in the MCA machine at 370Z. This will be the winner of this battle between Luke Fink and Bo Yates. They've both been drifting now for about 38 years. You know, they're both in their early 30s.
Yeah, Bo talked about how much of a veteran he was actually in the Q&A in the VIP lounge. Fink is a long way ahead of where I expected him to be, Moz.
I know, but I think Yates was waiting back to try and make up that gap, but has he done enough? Optimum line there for Luke Fink, lots of lock on.
Yeah, I think he might have underestimated how much speed Luke Fink is going to be able to generate there. I'm not sure that Yatesy maybe hasn't taken himself out here. And I think that was Bo frustrated there. He just drove past Luke Fink.
Look, it's hard to pick. That first one I couldn't pick it. It was pretty well 5-5. But here you'd have to say that Fink's got the small advantage. The headlights come back on a notice and pushing up right up to that outside clipping point on the exit there. And the little Corolla that could at the moment. He's doing the JOB, the notchback 86.
I might be 2 out of 4, I reckon, Moz. I'm not sure that Fink might get this one, I think.
Wow, that'd be another throw up for the books, wouldn't it? As Mad Mike thanking the crew back there in the pits. Of course, they've done a good job to get that car back out there and give the fans what they came for, big, loud, rotary noises.
Yeah, Mad Mike Wood, a fantastic ambassador for the sport of drifting as he parks the car up. Toshi, what's going on up there? How are you guys feeling heading into the top 4?
So we just want to clarify on that last run between Bo and Fink, right? Even though, we'll let Jason call it, but Even though there were claps, we felt that they lined up, the Corolla lined up on the drag race start in a position where he wasn't supposed to be, and that was a really large penalty.
Okay.
But let's let.
1コーナーまでに真横に並んではいけない。
So first off, we went over in the driver meeting. You cannot line up with each other like a drag race by corner number 1, which happened.
先行車両の後追いが横に並んだ場合はその進路妨害に当たる。
So it turns into a disruption of the front car, the lead car.
そこで1本目は、AE のペナルティです。
And so that's why the Corolla had the penalty in the first run, and then the second run, 2本目は
2本目は最終コーナーだけ、詰めたかなっていう感じで五分です。
And so on the second run, the final sweep was 50-50 on both of them. And so that's how Tsuchiya-san and we all made that decision.
So booking a spot in the top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together and make some noise for the Toyota Genuine Parts #1 driver, Bo Yates.
Oh, Yates, he goes through. Bo Yates through. He looks, is he relieved, Moz? I can't really tell. It's Mr. Poker Face, really, isn't it?
It is, always is. It looks like he's out of the lead singer of Green Day.
I wonder
young-looking guy.
Yeah, maybe we're at the business end. Robbie White, Daigo Saito. So that's one apiece there, Moz. And what does that say here, Moz, that I called out earlier on? Who did I say was going to be the top 4 on the other side of the draw?
Don't know, I didn't say.
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen and Bo Yates. So here we go with the replay. It is of the last pass, and this is what Tsuchiya-san was speaking about.
The first one he was saying when Fink was chasing, he was too far up the inside. In this particular case, it's a 50-50, he called it. So,
and that's what I asked you about, whether he'd got so far up the inside there, he'd impacted on Bo Yates' ability to switch back on the transition to turn number 17 here at Sydney Motorsport Park. So I wonder if maybe Bo knew something that we didn't know there, and he just sat back there. And then, of course, the penalty was talked about for that last corner there for both drivers, the 50-50, as he called it there on the K&N action replay for the call from Tsuchiya. There is Beck down there. Good luck kiss for Bo from Beck. I think Mila's probably gone home to go to bed. It's a bit late for her.
Hey,
Bo's happy.
There we go.
Bo is happy. He's got the smile on.
It's all about dancing today, Bo. Give us a dance.
We're trying to get a lot of dancing going on there, Mon. Okay. So we're going to the top. We're going to the 4.
Understeer, he's saying. She's put a lot of push in the car, so he's trying to dial at that understeer. That's cost him the speed, I reckon, why he's not quite on the pace.
I love
there.
Do you love the fact that drifters can speak in sign language? As we take another look at the replay here. So here we go. So okay, so Toshi gets it. Tsuchiya-san talked about this. This is where they went to the inside.
手前でインに入っちゃってるもん、ほら。これは先行車両の進路妨害です。
So right there is where Tsuchiya-san is saying there was an interference from the rear car. They should not have been in that position at that point, and that was something we went over in the drivers' meetings.
AE86 のドライバーの腕はいいけど、やっぱり1本目の先行車両の進路妨害はダメです。
Tsuchiya-san says the skill of the AE6 driver is very good. However, that was just one part that caused the penalty.
Yes. Yeah, Luke Fink's definitely sending it for the fans, but unfortunately missing out a spot in the top 4. And the boys talking through it there about this and that, the movements.
Bo and Luke on screen. Obviously, no hard feelings there. Just
Bo and Luke.
Nice. Yeah, Bo and Luke. There's another look. Where's Daisy?
Where's Daisy? That's exactly right.
Hang on, does that make you the sheriff?
Bo and Luke. Yeah, I could be there.
You could be the sheriff.
I was a sheriff.
What was it? Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Oh, no, I'm Boss Hog.
You're Boss Hog. All right, so plenty going on here. Still the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge for 2017. The Moz and Woz show still on air. Here we are right down to the top 4, the business end of competition, and we will be crowning a winner very shortly, Moz. We're into the semis. Your man versus my man, the battle of the Monster Energy cars. White, Saito, which way are you landing in that one?
Well, look, just check this out first. We've got 1 New Zealander, Shane Van Gisbergen, 2 Australians and 1 Japanese driver in there. Now, I am going to go out on a limb right here, right now, and say Sato's got this one.
You reckon? We had an all-Aussie top 3 last year too, so I'm quite keen to see Shane Van Gisbergen get his maiden competition drift win.
up against Bo Yates. Well, look, Bo didn't look confident, as you said. A bit of understeer there. He's giving like,
Bo's been uncharacteristically error-prone, I think, tonight. He hasn't been 100% on his game. SVG looks strong, and we know he likes these conditions.
He is getting stronger and stronger every run. Like, embarrassing, I said he wasn't that good yesterday, but he has really shown tonight he can do it in any conditions, in any car, with any horsepower, any level of grip, and he's really killing it. But at the moment, the New Zealanders, the big hope is Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, tyre changes going on at the moment. We've got to imagine that maybe some of the crews are making some subtle adjustments, Moz, as we head into the business end of competition, because the drivers all want their hands on that trophy. This is actually a big deal. This has springboarded a couple of international careers, notably Kurt Whitaker, who won the maiden event here and then went on to win the New Zealand Drifting Championship the season after.
That's where he knocked out Damon Templeman. It was an Kiwi final that time. So, there's been an Australian-New Zealand rivalry thrown in with a couple of other, visitors, drifters, if you like, from Japan and other places. And, it's come down the line with this top four. It's a cracking top four. And, you couldn't script it much better. Rob White versus Sato. It's monster versus monster. SVG and the MCA machine versus the Toyota of Bo Yates. Talent. How much talent is in those four drivers? Huge.
Two J engines, a Mopar NASCAR motor.
Hang
on. What's happening here? We've got the cleaner. We've got the air cleaner off the top of the Rob White car. We've got some action happening down there.
That's not what you're meant to adjust things with in a carby, not an extension.
Oh. You don't normally hit it like that, Moz?
Well, I do have a mechanic here with me. Is that some sort of tool you'd use generally, Kutz, when you're doing a tune-up? Not so much, he said.
All right, I wonder if I'm wondering, Moz, if I need to head down there maybe to get
he said it's, the mechanic here with us, Andy Kutz, our resident mechanic, said it's flooding. The needle valve's stuck open, and they're trying to tap it to shut the needle valve back down on the big Holly double pumper spread bore or whatever it might be under there. It's a fuel leak, so the carby is over-fueling and pouring fuel out in the engine bay.
So that's an acceptable mechanical technique.
Well, it's been used before, let's say that. To try and seat the stuck open needle valve in the big Holly carby there under the bonnet of the Mopar 900 horsepower machine there, the NASCAR engine, massive revs out of that machine now. It's turning over. You can see the flywheel turning, so it must be running, I'd say, at this stage.
Yeah, we're pretty well running to schedule too, Moz. We'll be well on track for our 9:30 finish here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Thank you all for joining us on the live stream tonight. We do appreciate you being with us and playing a part, sending us your feedback. Thank you especially to our fans up there on the hill, Moz.
We've got a bit of plumbers going on, Phil. Sorry, that's not right. Get the guy belt.
Now we're waiting, of course, for. Is this a 5 minutes or what is going on here? Because they should be due to line up.
We're going to run Bo and SVG first by the sounds of it, but hitting the top of the carby with an extension like that, it's about as useful as a chocolate fire screen, but it might be enough to do the job to get it going again.
There we go, SVG. He's looking keen for that maiden drift win here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Moz, I know he's been on the podium before, had a couple of D1 NZ rounds over in New Zealand, but he hasn't ever got his hands on the top step of the podium. So is he going to be the man to grab a win here? Are MCA going to do the historic double, Moz?
Murray and
Josh would love that.
Woo!
MCA suspension, that would prove a thing or two, wouldn't it, Moz?
Certainly, yeah. No doubt about that one at all. And I run in my own rally car with the MCA Gold Adjustables, my little old Gemini at home. And it's like a magic carpet ride we put them in. It made so much difference to the car.
He's going to have the lead too, Shane Van Gisbergen, so he will get to set the tone for this semi-final matchup. Here they go. This is for a spot in the finals. Bo Yates, he's been there before, Shane Van Gisbergen. Yatesy, he's got to be careful here. He doesn't get too far up, Moz, or he's going to face the same penalty that Fink did. No, he's played it smart. He's let Shane Van Gisbergen go, gives him enough room there, so he's not going to be on the line there that Van Gisbergen wants to transition onto. Here we go here for Van Gisbergen. Bo Yates, can he close up the gap there? Van Gisbergen runs off the... Oh, it's a bit of a straighten there from both drivers, Moz. He's going to close up onto the back of me. Here comes Bo Yates, the Toyota Genuine Parts, 86. Can he close up on that 370 of Van Gisbergen? Mozzie puts the pressure on. Oh!
You know what? That's a pretty close run. Bo had one straight in there coming off the concrete, which might be enough to swing the advantage towards SVG and the MCA machine.
Let's go to the... Can we go up to the judges there as they take a look at the replay? Wonder if the judges will be happy to give us thoughts mid-battle here as to whether Van Gisbergen's got right out to the edge of the track here. Is it just water sitting on the edge of the track, Moz, or are we seeing something else there? Does it Is that just a big puff of water?
Well, it's definitely not dirt turbo, but it could be mud turbo.
Judges deliberating there. They're not... Suchiya-san is showing... he's got some thoughts?
2コーナー立ち上がりの86の戻りはでかい。
So Bo's actually correction coming out of corner number 2 was a big mistake, or a big deduction, and then as they came through, it was consistent, but that is what sort of gave him a disadvantage.
Denzo's asleep. Wake up, Denzo.
All right, so just as we thought there, Moz, you called it the mistake from Yatesy there. Moz,
I'm awake. See?
Denzo's answered is...
Have a Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. Glug, 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 glug.
Too much sugar for you, buddy.
Should have saved
You'll
that.
be in a food coma if you're not careful.
Should have saved that for the other battle of the monster cars.
Yeah, indeed. They've got the bananas up there. They're not eating them a lot, though, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing with the bananas. But anyway, that was an interesting thing there that DK and I are on the same wavelength. I like that.
DK's updating his social media as he goes. It's nice to see the fans still here, and it's nice to see the DK still smiling and still enjoying things. As we're still getting some colour there from the pits there. The Rob White car is rolling out for the semi-final versus the Daigo Saito machine. Robbie White, unfinished business, Moz. He was here 12 months ago. He was in the final. He had the advantage, and he drove it off the track, Moz.
Yeah, that's right. Robbie White calling that. Well, he has got 5 minutes, so he's got till this battle's over to get back out.
He's
there.
back out, Moz. He's just pulled out of his pits, so he's
lovely.
good to go.
Good to see. Righto. Well, that's good to hear. And at the moment, he's driving like a teenager that's late for a leavers dinner, Robbie. But looking to get that #1 spot. He's won it before.
Robbie White hasn't won this
Hasn't won it before. Yeah, of course, he was ADGP champion a couple of years in a row.
Come on,
Whoa,
Gizzy.
the flames!
Oh, it's blown up!
It has. It's popped a mill.
It's popped it.
That was bits of piston or
Something's
valve
coming
or something coming out
out of the Van Gisbergen car, but he's going to drive it till he kills it. Wow. Look at the smoke billowing out of the Van Gisbergen machine. Shane Van Gisbergen, are they going to be able to nurse at home? What is that? Well, mechanical minds will be debating that one in terms of what is going on there for the MCA machine. We know that Van Gisbergen...
Steam, not smoke, I'm told here by our resident mechanic, Andy Kutz. Wow, that's steam. So whatever happened has popped somehow. That's well, what is that, head gasket? Is it...
Wow.
Well, Rob White stopped in pit lane, they tell me.
So maybe it's not that healthy. So we're going to see Daigo Saito into the final, perhaps by virtue of mechanical withdrawal. Moz, that does not look healthy there. It's
to pop like it did and blow those sparks out. Sparks is hot metal as a rule, isn't it? You know, I'm thinking it's eating the head gasket or something like that between the cylinders, maybe. You know, obviously there's bits of something come out there, and now we're pumping coolant straight into the hot cylinder, and that's producing the white smoke out the dumpers.
Some thoughts here from DK?
ファーストコーナー先行車両の走路妨害をしている。
So first off, just like we saw before, the rear chase car went in and interfered with the front car at turn number 1, and we also saw 2 corrections from the chase car coming through.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'd say at the moment there that Rob White is in a little, sorry, I should say Shane Van Gisbergen in a little bit of strife there. That car not healthy, and I don't think we'll see that back out there. That probably will book a final at the moment, I'd say, with Yates and Saito.
Well, is that the way it's going to end?
Well, at the moment, Robbie White's stuck in pit lane with a fire that's gone out.
Well, it probably means that we're not going to have a 3rd and 4th place battle either, because I don't know that either of those cars is going to be able to...
It was a pretty aggressive-looking run, but yeah, something had to have broken on that one.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's sparks flying out, smoke flying out the exhaust. He's, you know, dropped a valve. We'll call it that.
Rob White pulled the pin. Robbie White is out, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. The Monster Energy 370Z. Something has gone wrong with the big Holly double pumper under the bonnet there, and Rob White has had to pull the pin. Now we see the Achilles radial machine of Shane Van Gisbergen pushed back in. There will be no 3rd and 4th battle at the stage.
Right. So we need to have a clarification from our officials in terms of what the ruling is for 3rd place. So we need to know, will 3rd place be allocated on qualifying result, or can the drivers elect to share 3rd? Is the question I put to Brett and the team up there on the bank, as we see neither car going to be able to take place.
Lord Murray's in the house, though. Lord Murray's going to get the bonnet up here. Let's see what we can see under the bonnet. But it's definitely vented something into a cylinder there to be producing that much coolant white smoke. And can we get you've got coolant in the airbox.
Yeah,
we've got coolant up, water in the airbox.
Some things being pointed out. Murray's got the torch out. Shane's got the overalls off.
Shane wants to get in and work on it, that's why. We're looking around, so we've got, if there's water in the inlet box above the trumpets, it's got to be producing water back in the inlet track, doesn't it? So I'll go back once again to a possible head situation through a valve or a head gasket letting go.
Was there actually a call on that battle as yet between SVG and Bo Yates?
It's got to come out both sides, our resident mechanic, Dr. Kutz, tells us. So, you know, it's got to be something that's pumping water into that intake on top of the engine. As you can see, water in that airbox, that MCA
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Miles. I'm going to jump on the golf cart and I'm going to head down there and see if we can get a word from Robbie White and also from the MCA team in terms of what's going on.
You do that, Woz. Get down there amongst it. Let's hear what's going on. We all want to know what's going on, but of course now we're warming up for the big final coming up between Dago Sato and Bo the Show Yates. At this stage, I'd say Robbie White's definitely pulled the pin. SVG, I don't think can get back out there at this stage. You would not risk it with that V8 Toyota Nissan engine under the bonnet. Nissan, I should say. A little bit long in the day for Moz. He's had a couple of big days. And SVG still smiling out there with Darren Kelly and the crew. We still don't know what's wrong with it. We've got some news coming through that SVG is taking third spot because he ran one of the battles. Shane Van Gisbergen, ladies and gentlemen, New Zealand, put your hands together, make some noise for the MCA suspension driver. Coming home in third spot, Shane Van Gisbergen! Wow. That's a bit of a letdown, Shane, but man, you really took it up to the crew this year and made us a pleasure to have you here. We've got Woz heading down there for a quick word to see if we can find out what's going on. The great Woz Assair, all the way from New Zealand. Caleb Ash down there, one of the crew from ADGP in the 916 shirt, just getting the lowdown. I'd say that's just making the official pull the pin call. A lot of deliberation going on here. Not quite sure what they're pointing at, but there's something on a camera there. I think they're on Tinder, that's for sure. Got the crew from Harkon there as well. Drew Donovan, just waiting for the great Wazza to get down there in the golf cart, or the drift cart. Great stuff here from Honeywell Garrett, of course. Garrett turbochargers, the #1 turbocharger. Great display on this weekend and bringing you the show. Honeywell Garrett, and of course support those who support the sport you love. If you're looking for a turbo, make sure you check out the Honeywell Garrett collection, that's for sure. Some news coming through from the tower. Nothing at the moment, so we're just waiting on Woz to get down there and find the cameraman, see if we can get a bit of a lowdown on what is going on. We'll have a bit of a look at this replay. Now, watch the exhaust pipes here. Straight away, coming to turn #1, SVG pops a couple of, it's not even flames, it's like bits of metal, hot metal popping out the pipe. Here we go. Watch the car on the right. SVG, just about here. Bang, 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 3 bangs. And then here comes the steam. So that's coolant going into the cylinders, whether it's through the top air box or somewhere else, but it's coolant being burned up in the engine. Through here, it's still holding it, so it's still making power, which is odd. It hasn't lost power. It hasn't lit up the dash with any party lights to say back off either. So it's a bit of a strange one. Hopefully Woz will get us a lowdown. Okay, let's throw to the great Woz Assair down the pits. Woz, what's happening?
All right, we are down here in the pits, boys. The MCA bonnet is up, so we're just going to go over here. Shane, what's happened here? We've had a big puff of smoke come out of the exhaust. Any thoughts, or do we know what's going on there?
Nah, it's let go. It's just blowing a whole lot of water through it, which is a shame. I tried to finish the run, but man, I had an awesome time. So thanks to Murray, thanks for the boys for helping me. That was really cool.
So you've got the big smile on the face. You had a fair bit of practice last weekend, and you've obviously got a fair few people to thank as well for getting you here this weekend.
Yeah, just thanks to the MCA guys, Achilles Tyres as well. Thanks for coming on board. But yeah, everyone running it, all the guys I battled, just so much fun. This is a pretty awesome event. I love it.
All right, Shane Van Gisbergen is a happy camper down here. You can just have a look under the bonnet here. Murray Coote has gone to work already. I'd imagine that Murray will push this back into the carport in Queensland, and they'll be back bigger and better next year. Moz, we'll come back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Mars has got one of the spark plugs coming out of the hole there to try and inspect what's going on in there. They'll probably have a little camera they can poke down for a bow peep and see what's happening. But the Lord Murray Coote, as he is now after winning World Time Attack 2 times in a row there in the MCA Hammerhead. But thanks to Woz Assair for getting the lowdown. But hey, fans, can I get a cheer for Shane Van Gisbergen? Can you give it up, make some noise for Shane Van Gisbergen? Come on, let it go, make some noise! People's hero, just again, good He had a good cardigan on Murray Coote there, I noticed in the pit too. He's a connoisseur of a fine cardigan. And Shane Van Gisbergen, how do you go? Like, he'd just lost basically an event, but he looked like he'd won. A happy guy and a great role model for those out there with children wanting a hero in the sport. SVG is your man to get up onto, that's for sure. Okay, so we've got Diego Sato on the line waiting for Bo Yates. Sato's already warmed the tyres up, so he'll go back to the cook pad and put another one in the pan and give it a cook up to try and get some heat in those rear tyres. You can see the Rotiform Hypertune Toyota Genuine Parts machine of Bo the Show Yates down there in the pit areas. He's getting ready to rock and roll. Game face on because it is business time. Looks like Bo Yates is changing a tyre, is the word I've had from the #1 expert production assistant here, Damien the Squeak Grimwood. Bo sitting in the car patiently, ready to get this show on the road. Of course, we are going to crown the champion of the Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge here this afternoon, or tonight, I should say now, because it's 9:24 and we're 6 minutes away from cut-off. We need to get this show on the road. Let's get them moving. Just want to see the guys in the tower. Can they give us their hot tip? Who do they think can take it out from here? We've got Bo Yates against Diego Sato. What expert tips from the tower at all? Can they hear us up there? I should say in the judging box.
I don't think they can actually give us tips, can they, Moz, leading into it?
We'll be interested to know. Obviously, you got a very high horsepower 6-cylinder 2J and two of them. It's 2J final. Bit of biffo.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that DK was probably like 86 to win.
Right, let's see what Denzo reckons. What do you reckon, Denz?
I got an SMS from my boys back home, and my boys are like, "Oh, can you wave to the camera, Dad?"
Oh, that's
hello,
sweet.
Hello, Aaron. Hello, Joel.
Oh, that's sweet.
I don't know who these two are. Who's this fat idiot? Mate, I'm eating bananas. What are you talking about? I'm not being fat.
Can we actually...
We're going to leave last. Hurry up, change your tyres. Yates's crew. Haven't got all night.
Does that camera move up there, Denzo? Can we actually see the support team up there? Because we do need to give some thanks to Brett and Yoshi and the boys from their team. So we can't show them. So, Brett, can you show your smiling face?
Here we go.
These are the guys who have been working hard all weekend.
Dieter von Mollendorf in the house. Mr. Australia in 1987, Dieter Mollendorf.
He's just on his computer all night. He's not even doing nothing. I don't know what that bloke is. Who are you, mate?
Oh, the issue is... Denzo reckons he's been on a diet, but the camera definitely adds a few pounds. What does everyone else reckon? Look at that. Who's this chubby
bombs.
idiot?
Brett's dropping bombs.
You got to change the lens. Get the special lens, the skinny lens, not the fat lens.
I'm sorry.
But that's the reason why Denzo's sitting on this side. Yesterday he was sitting here, and he's like, I'm a little too close to the camera.
Yeah, so Moz and I are actually quite skinny as well.
I look like a fat wanker.
You can't say that on the air,
Too close to the
Denzo.
camera, so I thought I'll move out. But here he comes. He's changed his tyres. All right.
Yeah. See, he's busy. He wants to go dancing. Suchia wants to go dancing, yeah. All right, the judges are ready for the final here. Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge Moz 2017. Phenomenal event. We were struggling to pick finalists, but in the end, all roads go through Daigo Saito here for our final battle here, the Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge. Daigo Saito representing Japan, the Monster Energy 1200 horsepower Lexus, up against Bo Yates, the homegrown hero, the Sydney lad, 600 horsepower 2JZ Hypertune dripping Toyota Genuine Parts 86.
It is a sweet ride.
Talk about adding some pounds.
Hey,
we're checking out, mate. It's like...
Well, look, Squeak was here, but then Moz ate him.
More gins than Chinatown.
You guys look like you're at a bar or something, like this dark bar just sitting on the sofa.
You're not actually supposed to out the fact that we're not actually in the venue, Toshi.
With the little candle, candle in front of you.
We can hold hands. We can hold hands if you want to. Yes.
And
we're getting weird.
leave the celery in there.
Yeah, we're getting weird. It's almost 9:30, so let's get this battle on the road before things turn non-PG.
Non-PG, of course. Monkey business is over. It's time for the Drift Monkey to release these two and fill us with entertainment as we look forward to crowning the champion of the Honeywell Garrett 2017 International Drift Challenge.
Japan versus Australia. The way it's been in the past, Moz, is Bo Yates finally going to get his hands on the silverware? Is Daigo Saito going to become a dual champion and hold the trophy aloft for the second time? Bo Yates throws in on Daigo Saito. Oz.
Okay, here we go, turn number 2, Bo Yates gets up.
Oh, Yates, he hits him! Yates, he hits him. We knew someone was going to do it. Bo Yates not holding back at all, but Daigo Saito didn't even lift.
No, he didn't. He kept the hammers down, and here we go at the back door. Oh, Bo Yates out the mud turbo.
Oh, he throws the wheel off.
Oh, big advantage for the Japanese visitor there, the Japanese driver, Daigo Saito. Now, what's his nickname? Is he the Ninja?
No Daigo, no party.
No Daigo, no party.
No Daigo, no party. There's the love tap from Bo Yates.
This is a turn up for the books, you know. Bo Yates trying to keep right up within that 1 metre that the Drift King asked for. There's a bit of tyre smoke there, trying to dry it a little bit. But look at Sato. You see the top of his helmet over the top of the door there.
Judges, are you prepared to give us a comment, having just seen the first pass of that battle? There's a contact there, obviously.
今のはもうプッシングで6-4でしょう。
So already with the touching, the pushing from behind, that should have been a 6-4 advantage to the front.
で最終コーナーで流されて6-4。
But then he also washed out towards the end. Bo washed out to the outside, so
that's
that was it.
So that's
pretty
not
easy
good.
to see.
Yeah, no good. All right. So advantage Japan. Advantage Japan is how we're seeing this at the moment. Daigo Saito, one hand on the trophy.
I'd say so. Look, and he totally deserves it too. He's driven like an absolute champion. He's been such a ninja, though. I haven't seen him about. He comes out, bang, lays down on a run, and then goes.
All right, so Moz, one final pass to go here at Sydney Motorsport Park. What a phenomenal weekend it's been. Thank you to the crowd who are still here. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in on the live stream. You guys have been a phenomenal audience. Thank you for playing your small part in the festivities that are the Yokohama World Time Attack Challenge and the Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge. One final pass to go in the books and we will crown a champion for 2017. Moz, it's been a pleasure to call again with you. Also been a pleasure to join Chris Diggles, Chad Nailon and Emma on the live stream call along with the skyscraper George. That is Curious George Miedecke.
Don't forget that. But the production crew behind us in the little bus out the back here, massive shout out, and also to our starter Pete, who has been doing a massive job as well. And of course the podium will be down here in front of the World Time Attack Central, I believe, very shortly, and we'll hand out some hardware and crown our champion.
All right, so here we go. The final pass of the weekend. Bo Yates leads in Bo the Show versus Daigo the Ninja Saito. Daigo Saito tucks up the inside. He goes with him. We saw a tap before. Saito with a straight line. A bit of a mistake there, Moz. Call him through for the final corner, big man.
Turn. Bo Yates started to skip away with it. Here comes Daigo Saito up the inside as they go side by side through the final turn. Side by side on the slide, if you like. Bo Yates, side by side. Sato's coming at him. I don't want to call that one. I tell you what, judges, he could have that job. Wow, this could go one more time. We haven't got time for that.
Hey, an in-action replay will show us. Daigo Saito tucks to the inside of the Toyota Genuine Parts 86. There's the mistake. Is that enough to redress the balance of the 7-3 from the first run there? I don't know that it's going to be Moz. I think we're going to give you the result live on air too, because we do appreciate the fact it is a little bit wet and cold up there and some of you might want to head home. So we are going to the judges now. In fact, are our judges going to reveal who the winner is for us, Toshi? Daigo say, what's the call?
No. One more time.
One more time?
One more time because there was an interference.
We need it. Where is the traditional call? Do it.
One more time.
One more time. Oh, there it is, Moz.
Wow. Okay, I'm in a little bit of shock. This is going to be busy.
So the big thing was that Daigo did pull the interference on the first corner, and then even though he caught up on the back, that deduction was too much.
Wow.
We went over it during the drivers' meeting. Everybody knows about it, so we're being fair across the board on that.
Indeed. So we may lose the live stream. I'm not quite sure. They were meant to cut off at 9:30.
Ian
Can we all pitch in? Maybe he'll pitch in $10.
Ian Baker is the most generous man on the face of the planet. He will not. He can cut back on the food bill for Moz and I. And Denzo.
Back to the Love Lounge, they reckon. We're in the Love Lounge down here,
Hey, you guys, we should cut back to the lounge. We want to see you guys. Did you guys get your drinks yet?
We're
Bloody Mary.
There you go. Sharing a packet of M&M's down here. We've got the lemonades.
So you got your candle down there and everything?
Chaz Mostert was there.
Yeah, I couldn't find a Chad Nailon mask, unfortunately. That's my goals for next year. So one more time was fitting away.
Put the mask back on.
Which one? Which one, Denzo? There's a few in Moz's bag of tricks. Don't pull out that one, Moz. We'll keep that one for later on.
That's the GIMP mask. That one, the GIMP mask.
Yeah, team faces for radio down here. The pretty people up there.
Bring on the GIMP.
Mozza, I just went to the food van and tried to order a bucket of chips, and guess what?
They're out?
None left. Thanks for that, champ.
That's a fool.
That's weird. Now we're getting strange now. It's after 9:30. The vampires are starting to come out. The werewolves are starting to howl here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Pack out's actually just about done down here, Moz. There's not too many people down here, but come and join us in the pit area after this for the presentation of the trophies. We'll try and do it as close to the drift pits as we can, so that as many of the crews as possible can participate in the festivities. And again, thank you for joining us here this weekend as Moz and Woz, the faces for radio, the voices of a World Time Attacks Drift Challenge. Each year, bring you a little light entertainment as the drivers get ready to unleash for what could be the final time, Moz.
Right on, here we go. So I picked it as a one more time, and it actually was. I love it. Here we go. Bo Yates on the JOB on the inside, on the outside and leading it. Dago Sato in the Mossen Energy. Check out the back bumper bar. Pro Drive written on the back bumper bar. Pro Drive don't muck around with half shows. They are the real deal, and they got their name on the side of Sato's car, so we know it's going to be good. Sunico fuel going through the injectors and loving it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. One more time between Bo Yates and Diego Sato.
Diego Sato into the corner, nice and quick there. It's definitely drying up there, Moz. He's starting to get on the gas there early, and he drives away a little bit from Bo Yates. Bo Yates not going to be able to close up the gap here on the 1200 horsepower machine, no matter how much hyper-tuned power that 2JZ is putting out. The 3.4 out the front there for Diego Sato, getting the job done there. Bo Yates not able to make any real inroads there, Moz.
Same as his first chase run, he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, maybe advantage Japan.
I'll say at the moment, but we had that last time through, and then Diego Saito had that strange sort of bump there coming into turn number 2 with he straightened up, and there we go.
What I love, Moz, is a lot of feedback coming in too, saying that this is a fitting way to end the competition here. The universe generally in agreement that one more time was a fair way to go.
Facebook are saying everything's
Facebook
good.
is actually saying that the judges are doing a good job. So Toshi, you guys are in favour at the moment with the public. Denzo, what are you doing? You clown.
It was a really close match, but he felt.
どっちもミスはしてないけど、大した追走ではない。
So each one didn't make like a huge mistake, but it wasn't a very fun run to watch.
So basically,
yes.
Ugly. Ugly? Is that the word? Ugly?
This is the decider, this next one. Very close, slight advantage, Daigo Saito, but...
Okay, so given the conditions... Given the conditions out there, boys, what is either...
Okay.
Yeah, given the conditions, what is either driver going to need to do to win this, to get a conclusive advantage?
Just looks like there's still a problem on the last corner. It's still really wet, so, I mean, it's dried up a little bit, most of the track. Last corner, really wet, so I think you got to carry the speed so you can keep going on the last corner, because it's just sort of dropping off there. So to get in nice and close, if you're the follow car, you need to sort of just stay on it. Still looks really tricky, though.
Just going to send it.
Just send it. All right, that seems like a pretty solid strategy here to close out, potentially, the Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. But 2017, Moz, here we go. This is a one more time battle. Bo the Show Yates leads out Daigo Saito. Call them through the course for the final time, big man.
Okay, Daigo Saito on the inside now, just to look up the inside. He's a little bit close. Is he too much? Is he pressuring Bo Yates? This could be expensive. He pulls it back now. Bo Yates transitions nicely.
Mistake.
Up on the curb goes Saito. That's a mistake. Oh, a bit of a straight, a small one from Bo Yates. Yates is back up on that hooky high line. Here comes Daigo Saito.
Daigo Saito is going to be marked down by the judges for that, Moz. There is... Oh, Daigo passes! Daigo Saito with a pass to the inside. What a final, Moz. Well, I think Daigo Saito's going to... He's going to pay the penalty. Watch this. He goes right...
I think so.
Oh, we didn't see the start of the section there.
He was straight, though.
Yeah, there's a wheel off there, too, just on the inside.
Doesn't get out to the clipping point. Way too far in, shallow through the turn number 2. Shallow in 3. Yates not on the optimum line, but still holding good angle, good speed.
Sort of like he realised he made a mistake there and just thought, I'll just jump on the gas and just going to go through the inside there. So, do we have a decision, Moz? In the studio, we oh, judges going to a replay again. So Denzo, DK and Toshi Hayama up there on the hill going to a replay to have one more look at this.
Wow.
So this is what we were talking about, Moz. So you'll see it here as they go into turn number 1. Now, we saw a big mark down from DK earlier for going to the inside. We saw it applied to Shane Van Gisbergen. Look at where he is. Look at where he is in proximity to Bo Yates.
I think he pushed Yates wide
there. And
there.
he stops Bo being able to transition back across. And then he straightens up there.
Big straight. On the handbrake too, trying to get the back end to come around to meet the front. Not going to happen.
So we saw that as a 7-3 before. So are we going to see a repeat performance here from the judges?
Could be Bo Yates here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe another replay here, just because the judges will want to get this absolutely correct, Moz. We have seen it one more time already, and then Dago gives Bo nowhere to go.
No, but Yates was wide on that third clipping point. And the judges said the chase car can then get up on the inside.
All right, so
we have a winner.
We have a winner?
We have a winner.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen,
wait,
are you ready? Drum roll. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Driving the Toyota Genuine Parts AE86, it's Bo Yates!
Bo the Show Yates, 2JZ Power underneath the bonnet. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner for 2017, the Honeywell Garrett International Drift Challenge, Bo the Show Yates. Bo has done it for Australia. Bo's done a great job. Toshi, what got Bo across the line there?
やっぱり一番は第1コーナーで先行車両の邪魔をしてはならないっていう、これはもう先行車両が1コーナー優先です。
So once again, the lead car has priority coming into corner 1, and it's a big deduction. And once again, Daigo went into interference, and that was a big enough deduction to penalize him throughout the course.
All right.
あとはそのニュー86の方が一度も戻んないし、ラインが綺麗だし。
Bo had a better line, and he didn't correct.
で大悟の方は2回カクッカクッと戻ってる。
And Daigo had 2 slight corrections, so he was wavering.
Exactly what I saw as well. But just want to say thank you to you two judges, Mr. Drift King.
一応ありがとうございましたと、デンゾーさんからも。
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Nice working together.
All right.
Thanks to you guys down there too, and
thank you, Toshi Hayama. Thank you, Denzo, the Drift grandfather. Thank you, of course, to the Drift King himself, Kichi Seichuya, for joining us again. The Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge 2017 is in the books. It is Bo Yates. Look at the smile on the dial. Bo Yates for Toyota Genuine Parts wins over Daigo Saito for Monster Energy. Third place goes to Shane Van Gisbergen for MCA. So 2 podiums this weekend for Murray and Josh and the MCA team. I've been Moz. No, I'm Woz. You're Moz. We're swapping identities. Moz and Woz, the Moz and Woz Show, the 2017 Honeywell Garrett Drift Challenge. Thank you all for joining us at home, and we will see you again next year. If you're still on the premises, please join us in the pits for the Drift prize giving.
You've got to thank Baby Jesus.
We did.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the crew there making this all look good, the production crew. We're out, ladies and gentlemen. See you next year.